Hey guys, welcome back to the AJ Analysis channel and the first live stream in way too long. It's been over a month, I believe, since we last live streamed. Basically because I haven't known what to talk about really, and also my internet has been horrendous, absolutely horrendous. But I basically have come up with an excuse to do a stream basically. Like I said, I haven't known what to talk about recently on live stream, which is why we haven't been live, but today I thought, let's just get into it. So first of all, a little check. Can you guys hear me and see me alright? Are we all working? FP, happy birthday, mate. Great to see you back in the chat. Apologies it's been so long since we last streamed. Thanks for the kind words already in chat. You guys are elite. The support on the channel recently has been incredible. So hopefully we can have a good stream here. What we're going to talk about is Manchester United in general, really. Pre-season results, signings so far, certain individuals in the squad, the upcoming season. We're going to have a little bit of a chat about everything. But if you could just let me know in chat if you guys can hear me alright, that would be great. Because I can't actually check it myself right now. So just a quick little audio check. Can you guys hear me? Just waiting for a reply. Can anybody hear me? Someone let me know in chat. Just one person. One person let me know. If not, I'll check it myself. I'm going to guess you guys can hear me. No one's replying, but guys, can you hear me or is chat not working? I'm just going to wait, basically. Is chat working, guys? I can't see it for myself right now. Let me open a different tab and have a check. Can you guys hear me all right? Alright, I think you guys can hear me good. So, let's get into what we're talking about today. Like I said, we've got a few different things to talk about because since we were last live, big things have happened at Manchester United. The last time we went live was the signing of Mason Mount. The announcement day, we went live pretty much instantly and discussed our thoughts on that. Since then, Onana has signed for the club, and also it looks like Rasmus Højlund is about to join the club. Okay, so I think we've got a big delay actually in chat and what you guys are seeing because you guys are now talking about the audio. So I think we've got a bit of a delay, but that's all right. Yeah, basically, a lot has happened at Manchester United since we last spoke. We've had the whole preseason since then. Hey, Codename mate, welcome to the stream. Hope you enjoy it. We've had a whole preseason since we last spoke. We've had signings coming to the club. Have we had any departures? I'm not sure, but we've covered a few different things on the channel. We've spoken about things like rest defense. We've also spoken about, what's the other thing we spoke about the other day? We've spoken about set pieces, and there was also something else we were speaking about, but what was it? We done rest defense. Was it playing out from the back? Did we do that? There's another video we done recently and I have no idea what it was. Oh, transitions. Transitioning football. That was the other thing we were talking about. Let me just see if I can sort a delay so there isn't as much delay between me talking and you guys seeing it. 1 second. Artificial transitions. That's the one. Thank you very much. I was trying to remember what we'd done. Yep, you are spot on. What did you guys make of those videos? Have you been enjoying it? Like I said, we haven't spoken much recently. Let me just find the stream setting to change it. Okay, there we go. You guys should be seeing me a bit better now. I'll answer a couple of questions in chat before we start. Would you replace Maguire with Mengi? No, probably. Maguire's a really good player, as much as people don't admit it. Mengi isn't of that level. I'm not saying Maguire should stay at the club, but I don't think Mengi is the right replacement. Have we started negotiating with Fiorentina? Your guess is as good as mine, although actually, if we go over to Twitter real quick, I believe Fabrizio Romano the other day was saying, where was it? I think he said it this morning. He said somewhere that basically United still want Amrabat, but nothing can really take place in terms of negotiations and stuff until Donny van der Beek or Fred leave the club. I can't find the quote right now, but it's in there somewhere. So there's no Amrabat news as of yet. There's no like direct transfer news in that sense. But I think it will happen if different moves happen. United need to sell some players, get some money, and then spend it back in. So waiting for sales. Subbed after the 3-1-6 formation and artificial transition videos. Thank you very much. I'm glad you joined them. Enjoyed them. I'm glad you enjoyed them. I've really loved a lot of the content we've been doing recently. I don't mean to blow my own trumpet, but I think we've had some good content on the channel lately. So I hope you guys have been enjoying it. To be honest, AJ, should Man United go for Tomori and sell Maguire? Tomori's an interesting one. I'm surprised he kind of hasn't been touted a little bit more as a potential option. I think he's a tad overrated. I think he's a bit error prone, so maybe give it one more season, then see where we're at next year. Something like that could work. Yeah, the other thing that Fabrizio Romano said was that Fred will 100% leave. You're correct, and then waiting on sales. I do live streams now. I do live streams now. I've done 5 in total, but the last ones were a while ago. The plan this season is to live stream every single Friday. And I want to talk about kind of like if United have a game that weekend, what you can expect from that game, but also just a general Premier League discussion, FPL talk, a little bit of everything. So we should be going live every single Friday, fingers crossed. Doing good work, AJ. Keep it up. Cheers. Thank you very much. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. Hannibal, stay or go. At the moment, I believe he is being linked with a loan move to Luton. What is my opinion on Cherky at Lyon? Watch him this season. He's about to pop. He is about to really be on fire. Such a good player. Such a good player. AJ, will I live stream without my cap? Not today. Maybe on the next one. I'll happily do it in the future. The hair is bad today. It's a mess today. So not today, but maybe in the future. I love how the cap has become such a talking point recently. Where do I reckon we'll finish in the upcoming season with or without Amrabat? I'm going to do a predictions video next Wednesday or Tuesday in a live stream. We're going to talk about literally do our Premier League table and go through it. I've got in the moment United around 3rd. I think that would be the case with or without Amrabat. Amrabat probably helps you maybe more in other competitions as well. Nottingham Forest going for Turner, so Henderson off. Yeah, I saw that in the last hour, which is bad news for Manchester United. Where will United finish? Again, 3rd. Do you approve to Debo or Diamonde if Maguire leaves? I think Diamonde is probably not achievable this summer. I think he'll probably cost too much after what United have already spent. But again, watch him develop this season. Maybe go in for it next summer. Todibo would be a better short-term fix. But, you know, in the long term, he's maybe not quite as good. What else we got here? FP, no worries, mate. No stat man for this stream, but we'll survive one stream without you. Enjoy the rest of your day, mate. Happy birthday. Hope you have a good one. Why hasn't anyone else gone for Maxence Kakare? No idea. I think he's a really good player, so I'm not sure why he hasn't moved yet. Amrabat and Greenwood, and we'll win the league. Win the league might be a bit of a stretch. In terms of Mason Greenwood, I won't be discussing that for now. I'm going to wait to see the club's decision on the matter, just because on the channel we focus kind of on the football side of things. So once the club have confirmed it, we'll go from there with regards to that. Glazers out, absolutely agree. Yeah, I love Cherky. I really hope we sign him. Do you think he would do well at right wing? The problem with Cherky probably is defensively his work rate isn't that good. He's a little bit lazy off the ball. As much as I love him, I think on the ball he's one of the best talents in Europe at the moment. He does have some lazy tendencies out of possession, which might be a concern. What stats would you see Højlund achieve next season? It really depends on the amount of starts he gets. I think, what would you want, basically? What do you think would be a good number? What would you be happy with as fans? Do you think 20 goals in all competitions is good? 15, 25? Let me know, like, what sort of area you think he should be targeting. I saw Rashford the other day saying he's going for 30 plus this season personally, so that'll be, hopefully he can achieve that. That'd be good to see. Can't believe Manu Kone is just chilling in the window. He's another one a bit like Kakare. I can't believe he hasn't gone somewhere. Really good player. Would be really good for someone like Liverpool potentially. What do you think of Lima? Thought he would have been good for United before he went to Bayern on a free. Yeah, I think there's a good bit of squad depth. He could have been nice kind of at the time. It could have been a nice bit of business. Obviously unlikely now, or it's not going to happen now. But yeah, he is a good player. 50 million for Mickey van der Ven to Spurs. What do you think? I think it's expensive, but I think every footballer is expensive. I think he'll do really well this season. I think Spurs will be good. I'm looking forward to watching Spurs. Expect goals all over the place for Spurs at both ends. Scoring them and conceding them. Spurs should be a really good watch this year. United, of course, have them in the second game, I believe, so that should be exciting. I think Højlund, 30 plus appearances, 10 to 12 goals and 3 to 4 assists would be nice. You guys are literally hitting the exact numbers I was thinking. I've got 16 Premier League goals here for Højlund, 15 goals in the league. That is exactly where I would be targeting. If he can get 10 to 15 in his first season, that's really good. A lot of people are saying he cost however much money, so he needs to hit 30 in his first season. It's not going to happen. Like I said in my video the other day, you're kind of signing a player on a project on a long-term deal. Can he do it for the next 5 years, for example? I think if he can hit 12, 13 Premier League goals would be a really, really impressive season. Even in all competitions, I think that would be decent. Do you think Højlund is going to come straight into the team? Do you think he is going to be the first choice striker? Or do you think we might see Rashford up there? Or do you think we might see Sancho? Let me get Sancho in the picture here. Basically, for anyone joining a bit late, the aim of the stream today is talk about whatever. There's not a particular topic. I've put Ten Hag in the title just so people would click, I'll be honest. But we can talk about anything Manchester United or just anything Premier League, anything European football. We are covering it all today. Do you think that now Lindelof could be a better fit than Varane? I think he's a better fit, but the quality isn't there. I think on the ball, he's probably closer to what Ten Hag wants. But Rafael Varane's defending ability, his box defense, his leadership traits, I think those things are really important and kind of probably shift it in Rafael Varane's favour. I do think he's important for the club still. Someone saying they think Højlund will start. I think he will as well. I think give it... I don't think he'll start every game. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's going to start 38 Premier League games this season. But certainly, say, in the month of, let's say, September. We'll give him August to warm up. Say in September, United, for example, play 6 games in all competitions. I could certainly see him starting 3 or 4 of those. Because he will be the only real striker profile at the club. Of course, Rashford can do a job there, but as I said in my video the other day, it's not ideal for me. Sancho's doing a pretty good job there as a false 9, but I don't know that that is what Ten Hag wants long-term, a false 9, and Martial just never available. So I think there may not be much choice. Whoa, there's loads of chats coming through. Between Palestri, Ahmad, and Mainu, who will have a breakout season, I'd go for Kobe Mainu. I think either maybe as a 6 or as a slightly more attacking 8 in this position will have a really good season. You guys are sending so many messages in chat. How many people have we got in here at the moment? Absolutely brilliant. Great to see you all. If I miss any messages, I do apologise. I'm going to reply to as many of them as possible. If I miss your comments, I do apologise. If you want to guarantee that I can see your message, you can send a super chat. Any money from that will go towards a new camera or a new mic for the channel. That guarantees that I see your message, but don't feel that you have to do it. I'll try to get through as much of this as possible. Where do we go from? Where were we up to? I think Højlund will be an instant success and he will score 25 goals in all competitions because we create loads of chances. That's the thing. Can you imagine the numbers which Bruno Fernandes is going to be producing this season? In my opinion, we can criticise certain things, certain sides of his game, his ball retention, things like that. But as a creative player, one of the best in Premier League, one of the best in Europe by a distance, and actually having a number 9 to aim for. So when he's playing these balls over the top, he's not playing them to Weghorst. No offence to Weghorst. He's playing them to Rasmus Højlund. That could be really, really good. Also, by the way, pronunciation. I'm finally going to get a player right for maybe the first time in history on this channel. I saw a video, Rasmus was saying it himself. I believe it is Højlund. You don't pronounce the D at the end of it. So I believe it's Højlund. So I'm going to try and make sure I do that. Oh, Claudio Kone is injured for about 6 months and that's why he's out. I did not realise that. I know we got injured during the Under-21 campaign for the Euros. Really good tournament. I didn't realise he was out for that long. Blimey. Do you think the Saudi League will be in the Champions League in the future? With lots of thinking faces. That's another way of guaranteeing I see your message, I guess. If obviously the Champions League currently is a European competition. So unless they change it, physically they can't. But maybe more of a Super League at some point. We might see a Super League. I think this is why we wanted a Super League, certain clubs, because of the Saudi League at the moment, making big moves this summer. Rashford, not really great at centre forward, but we don't have enough depth. Exactly, that's the problem. There may not be much choice here. I think, say for the first game of the season, we might see Sancho up front, Rashford on the left, but within a few, it really could be Højlund, just because there's not that many other options. But yeah, like someone said there, Sancho and Rasmus gives flexibility, tactical variety, the ability to change the team and keep the opposition guessing, which is exactly what you want. People saying that Højlund could play on the wing for some of the games. Very possible. I think he is decent in an outside area, coming from out to in and kind of making that run. Again, it's not ideal. I'd rather just put him up front because I think that's what you've spent the money on. But he is good in transition. And even if he is starting as a striker, when Manchester United counter-attack, expect to see Rasmus peeling over here or here and Rashford making this run. Expect that in transition. He may be starting as a striker, but expect movement and versatility. Two people quickly in quick succession there, mentioning Taremi as a backup striker. I would do it. I don't know what the price is at the moment. The problem is, and I've said it before, United need a few different areas. They still need another midfielder. Amrabat and Fabrizio Romano has said that for United to be able to do that, they have to sell some players, which suggests United are maybe getting a little bit tight on the budget. So I think we probably see one more signing. I think it probably is Amrabat. Maybe a centre-back if Maguire was to leave. Although, who knows? If West Ham come in with a £35 million for Scott McTominay, for example, it gives you money to spend somewhere else. So there could be more, but I'm just not sure at the moment. What else we got in chat? What do I think about Man United breaking pressing in the De Jong way? Ten Hag tried Malacia doing it, one of the last 5 games in the Premier League. Can he do it with situation rotation with other players regularly? Probably not Malacia, but maybe Kobe Mainu might play this role later in the season. I'm so gutted for him getting injured because I think he was really going to have a good start to the season. I think he would have been given his chance, particularly in the Carabao Cup. But keep an eye on Kobe Mainu. People are kind of making comparisons maybe to a Pogba-esque regen, quote, regen sort of player. Not sure. Keep your eyes more on a Frankie de Jong sort of esque player. I think there is a unbelievable talent there, so keep an eye on it. We should have kept Will Fish as backup for Rafael. Where did Will Fish go? It was only the other day. Where did he go again? Actually, there's technically been another signing at the club we haven't spoke about as well. Johnny Evans. I don't think I've even mentioned his name on the channel. What are your thoughts on that? There's now a chance he might get a 1-year contract. Let me know what you think. Do you think we'll buy a new right back next summer? Obviously, it's really early to say, and it's quite difficult to predict. At the moment, I've got Diallo in the team here. Is it going to be Diallo? Because most of preseason, if we put him in here, it has obviously been Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And, you know, we just don't know who the preference is at the moment, which means it's difficult to figure out what style Ten Hag's going for, and therefore kind of what profile he wants moving forward. We have our first super chat of the day. Thank you so much. Thoughts on Martial if he can stay healthy? I'm really not sure on Martial. By the way, if everyone in chat could say a massive thank you for that super chat. It's stuff like that which keeps the channel going, and best believe that money will go towards either a new mic or a new camera. At some point, you guys could let me know what you prefer. But thank you so much. If everyone could put some thumbs up or spam some green hearts or something like that in chat, that would be great, because really do appreciate it. What were we looking at? What was I talking about? Martial. What do I think of Martial moving into this season? Of course, he is the other striker option. If he can stay fit, we know that Erik Ten Hag likes him as a profile. He has spoken several times during last season and last pre-season that United's best football often comes when Martial's in the team. Now, why is that? It's because he's good at linking the play. He's not a bad finisher, to be fair, either. He's a pretty good out-and-out striker. But he's really good at linking the play. On the counter-attack, we saw it in that game against Manchester City. He's really good at dropping into these areas, dragging players like this, and making room for other people. If Martial could stay fit, hungry, and have real desire about him for a season, is there a place for him in this squad? Absolutely. Because the fundamentals are there of a really good footballer. But it's such a big if on if he can stay fit, if he can stay hungry. It's the deal breaker. You said it in your super chat there. If he can stay healthy. The problem is, will he stay healthy is just a big if. It's so difficult to rely on him because when you rely on him, he's not available. But if he is reliable, I think he's still a good player and could be useful this season. Will Fisher's gone to Hibs. What do I think of him? I'll be honest, I don't really know that much about him. I'd be lying if I said I did. I don't really know too much about him. Martial to Fulham, here we go. Is that actual, or is that you saying where you think he should go? I believe that's you saying where he should go, right? Okay. Sancho can become a more reliable version of Martial, in my opinion. And now someone else has said it. AJ, Sancho looks more comfortable as false 9. Will he be a permanent at that spot? Let's talk about Sancho. First of all, who watched who watched my video on Sancho, my false 9 video? Let me know what, in the comments or in chat. Let me know if you watched that video and what you think. I'm just going to have a quick drink. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on that video and on Sancho kind of playing that false 9 role. I'm seeing a few of you watched it. What did you think of it? What did you think of not only, like, did you like the video as such, which obviously I need to hear. I love the feedback. But also, what are your opinions on Sancho in that false 9 position? Do I think stem cells could be used to heal Martial's body to make him less injury prone? That might be where the rest of the funds go. Legs for Martial. Could work. We need another centre-back since our centre-back is injury prone. Should we address this? Let's address the centre-back thing. Because I spoke about Raphael Varane the other day. And it didn't go down too well. People didn't like that I said that Raphael Varane has flaws. Raphael Varane does have flaws. But he is also very good. I think Manchester United should keep him for one more season. But I think maybe in the future, he could maybe be moved on and bring someone else in. Who would I like for that role? Not sure yet. I don't like to kind of hop on too early and say, I want this player. It kind of takes a lot for me to get to that point. I think players I said about this year was Taremi, Kane, Højlund, Onana, Diogo Costa. I think those are the only players I've kind of really fully nailed on said United should go get that player. I don't really like to commit to it too early. Antonio Silva's a shout for centre-back, so's Diamond. I mean, there's a few different options. At right-back, I'm not quite as sure. There's a few young players I want to watch. Jeremy Frimpong is always on the list, although not my sort of player. I like Bar at Benfica. I think he's really good. But again, I'll have an answer for you much further in the future. I'll do videos kind of breaking down so many different players. We'll do the scouting for United series again this season. But who knows who it's going to be? Who knows? Sancho is best when he gets people around him in a false 9 position. He is good at dropping deep and linking the play. I think really good, but he needs more time and more confidence in him to be really great in false 9. But if he can, that could be even better than Firmino at Liverpool. True. To be honest, I love Sancho as a false 9 as it allows him to move to both the left and the right, which suits him, rather than have him face one certain fullback over and over again. Also, he's sharp. That is the big thing. Sharpness is really important. I think in preseason, of course, we have to consider it's only preseason, but I haven't seen him look this sharp in a Manchester United shirt. So, kind of initially, it doesn't even matter where you're playing him. Just having that sharpness and seemingly some confidence. Ten Hag has said he's in a good vibe at the moment. Those were the manager's words. That already is a big boost in the potential for him to play well this season. Add into the fact that Ten Hag has brought in kind of this false 9 position, which is getting the best out of him, gives him the potential to have a really good season. And I'm so desperate for him to kick on because he is such a good player. And he was wanted by Manchester United for so long. He cost so much money. There's got to be a way in which you can get the best of him. Because if you can, he's incredible. And I think as pure talent, there's a Ballon d'Or contender in there if he hadn't had a bad couple of years. Unfortunately, that may have kind of stunted the ceiling that he can hit. But kind of fundamentally, technically, he is still such a good footballer. And I think this role suits him. I really like it. I think he's good there as a backup, as a rotation player. And like I said, this gives him a new role and kind of the ability to be not relied upon, less pressure on him. He doesn't have to play every week, but a tactical variation is really, really good to have. But yeah, at the same point there, Mayday has said, but does it suit United's system? Because do they want a false nine? We've been crying out for a proper striker. That's why I think Sancho won't start every game. I think it will be, once the team is settled, it will be Rasmus Højlund up front. But I think Sancho, kind of for those games where you want something a bit different. I don't think we'll see Sancho starting regularly up front. But I think we could see him kind of brought in just to offer something different when you need a different tactical profile. That's the sort of role we're talking about here. Sharpness is everything, says Wayne. Absolutely. It's alright having a good player and a good system and a good tactical setup. If you have a player who isn't sharp and confident, they're not going to perform. It doesn't matter what the system is. What else have we got in here? What player do I prefer in Ciso or Ferguson from Brighton, as we need a new striker next season? Evan Ferguson, for me, is the best young striker on the planet. I think he's the only young striker, which is like proper young striker outside of like Haaland and Mbappe, which is better than Rasmus Højlund. But I don't see United signing a young striker in the next year because they're about to do it with Højlund. So I think any other strikers coming into the club will probably be more experienced ones. Might be wrong, but out of Enciso and Ferguson, I wouldn't label Enciso as the same sort of... Is he even a striker? He's kind of that off-the-striker sort of player. More so. They're very different profiles, so it's difficult to compare. Højlund is the best youngster in the world. What are you saying? Can I place a bet that you would have said that about any player which signed for us? I completely respect it. What are my thoughts on Mason Mount's preseason? Good question. Before I answer that question, again, get in chat, you guys. What have you thought of... what was I trying to say? What have you thought of Mason Mount in preseason so far? Because it's a difficult one to gauge because he comes in for a lot of money, but then he plays with the team, and obviously like that first team wasn't like the team which played the first few matches wasn't full strength by any means, really rotated because the international players were missing. So what have you thought of Mason Mount? I'll answer some of your other questions afterwards, but I do want a Mount discussion. But before I get into it, I want to hear your thoughts first. So let's focus on Mason Mount for a bit. Yes, I can see you saying we still need Taremi. I've said that. So yeah, Mason Mount. Let me know your thoughts on that. We'll kind of discuss that for a bit, and then maybe come back to this video. Højlund will be striker for us next 15 years and score 500 plus goals. Please do. By the way, I'm not disagreeing with you saying he's one of the best young players in the world. I was just saying, would you say that about any United player which we signed? I think he's really good. I do think he's really good. And I'm very excited. Okay, so we've got some Mount feedback here. Very excited for Mount, to be fair. Mount has been brilliant off the ball, but average on the ball early days, though. We still give the ball away too much, especially Rashford, Casemiro, and Antony. Fair points. Mount still needs to settle in, I think. Fair point again. He's been average, to be honest. I think he's been doing a lot of the dog work, which gets unnoticed, whereas I think we expected more from his attacking play. He's a massive asset to the team. So, yeah, you're kind of all going along the same lines here. I think what we need to consider with Mason Mount is that whilst he was the most creative player at Chelsea, there is not a world, I don't think, or I don't see it at the moment, where he will be the most creative player in this Manchester United team. But that's completely okay. Like, that's completely fine, because he doesn't have to be the most creative. So, when we judge Mason Mount this season, say in 12 months' time, don't look at how many goals he got, how many assists he's got. Obviously, that's important. Take it into consideration. But it's not the most important thing. He's going to bring so much to his team, which isn't it won't be reflected in the numbers all the time. It's his technical ability on the ball is so good, and it's little subtle things he does, which when you're watching it live, it's such a simple action that you don't really register it. But he does the simple things so well, which Manchester United haven't had in a midfield over the last few seasons. Even Casemiro, for example, as good as he is, genuinely incredible, he doesn't always do the simple things right. He can misplace the ball. Bruno Fernandes tends to lose the ball quite a lot. Scott McTominay, technically limited. Fred, tactical awareness, limited on the ball. Eriksen didn't quite have the energy to match it all the time and wasn't very good on the half turn, things like that. Those are some of the midfielders from the past 12 months. Mount does little things that, all round makes him such a good player. So he may not steal the headlines, but he is just so good technically. He'll do the little things which you may not even notice, but it will help the team so much. It will just be the way in which he controls the ball. When Casemiro passes it to him, he has this extra ability to take the ball under his spell, get it under control and move it on better than what the other United midfielders can. And that's really important for momentum, especially on the counter-attack. Also, his energy, his running off the ball is going to be so important. Defensively, we've seen already during preseason that he can be the pressing trigger. I think he's going to have a really good season. I think he needs to work on certain things on the ball, but that will come with sharpness. He missed the end of last season with injury, but I'm excited. Can Mount drop in alongside Casemiro? Not optimally yet. Not yet. It's not his strength, but can he do it in moments? Absolutely. We've seen it already in pre-season. He's rotated into these areas quite well. And I think if you go through and look at the numbers, we can literally do that if you want. His passing and ball retention has been really good. In fact, I will find it. Let's have a look at Mason Mount's performances so far. Also, we have a super chat. Thank you very much for the £1.99 donation. If everyone could say thank you in chat, that would be greatly appreciated. Green love hearts for him. Reece Bennett looked good / promising against Leeds. I can't remember his performance against Leeds, I have to be honest with you. What do you think of him? Do you think he's someone which should be backup as a centre-back? Or... yeah, I'll have to look into it, really. I can't really remember too much about his performances, so... apologies that I don't have more on it, but I don't want to lie to you on a subject I don't really know too much about. If we go to Mason Mount, though... if the website hurries up, here we go. Let's find Mason Mount. So this is against Borussia Dortmund. Did he start this game? No. Okay, I picked the wrong game, I'll be honest with you. Let's go to the Arsenal game, because I think United played well in this game. Let's find Mason Mount's numbers. We'll put them on the right-hand side here. 87% ball retention, or pass completion. If we go to the Lyon game, where's that? Here. 95% pass completion rate. A lot of us were worried when he was signed was that if he's going to be playing this deeper midfield position at times, he's not going to keep the ball well enough. I think that's been proven wrong. I think he's been keeping the ball really well. Now, what he needs to do is strike the balance of he's keeping the ball well, now add that bit of creativity and flair as well. If he can strike that balance, he'll be huge this season. We have another super chat. Ali back with the $9.99. Thank you very much. Again, if everyone could say thank you in chat, it would be greatly appreciated. Good to see you again. Haven't seen you in a long time. I'm going to try and stream more often. Good to catch you live, AJ. Congrats on the 16k subscribers. Thank you very much. It is 5:30 a.m. in Seattle, USA now. Thank you for all your hard work. One of my favourite football analysis channels out there. God bless. Thank you very, very much. Nice early morning for you in Seattle. Hope you have a good day. Thank you again so much for the donation. I really do appreciate it. And like I said, it will be going towards either a new mic or a new camera. So you're literally helping improve the channel, which means you guys get even better content. And you mentioned it there, 16k subscribers. If you are watching the stream and you're not subscribed, could you do two things for me, please? Could you please, press the like button for a start, because it helps the stream get out to other people. But could you please subscribe? I really, really, really want to hit 17,000 subscribers by the end of the weekend. It might be a stretch, but I want to hit it. We were on 16,000 last Saturday. That's when we hit it. So if we could do 1,000 subscribers in 10 days, I think that would be a record for the channel. But yeah, Ali, again, thank you so much for the donation. It's good to see you. I hope you enjoyed the stream whilst you're here. People asking what that site was. That was SofaScore if you want to check it out. Hi AJ, I watched you from Iran. Yes, I remember talking to you before. Last time when you had a live show, I said something about Licha beside Casemiro in midfield, and you comment. I think this shape will help Mount in midfield. Agree or not? Yeah, absolutely. This was something which I spoke about when Onana signed for the club. I think even before that, I think I'd done a video ages ago, like right at the end of the season, saying United should try and build up in this way moving forward. And that was with, when United are playing from goal kicks, moving Lisandro Martinez into midfield. It allows Mount to play higher, and it helps Casemiro as well. That's worked really well. But also what we've seen occasionally is in sustained possession, which I haven't actually covered this yet on the channel, I don't think, is this shape. So it's a 3-box-3, so shape-wise it's not groundbreaking. But Lisandro Martinez has kind of, in spells, played in this position, which has been really interesting. So yeah, you were spot on with your comment before. Brilliant. Do I prefer Mount or Kakare? Different profiles. Personally, I always kind of lean towards the Kakare type of profile because I just love that sort of footballer. But Mount is probably the actual better all-round player. Brilliant standout performance, really composed and press resistant. I'll look into it then for sure. I will look into his performances and hopefully get back to you at some point on that one. Sorry, I can't tell you more now. Would I play Sancho as a false 9 in certain games ahead of our current number 9s? Yeah, I think I would. Certain games? It depends. There's kind of this structure at the moment, which I don't know how much of other teams you guys have watched in preseason. I've been doing loads of research into Chelsea, PSG, teams like that. What a few teams are doing, and we saw Brighton doing it last season really well, is teams are starting to do a shape, ignore the personnel here, which looks at times a little bit like this, where your striker drops in, and it looks a little bit like this. So Sancho, in games where perhaps this suits, it could work. It could really work. If you are interested in more on this shape, I do have a video on PSG's tactics. I have fully made it, edited it, it's got a thumbnail, it's uploaded, I just need to literally press publish. I don't know if you guys want it though or not. So I haven't uploaded it yet. It was meant to go out this morning, but I kind of backed out and changed my mind. If you guys would like that video on PSG, let me know. I know most of you guys are here for United content though. But say on Sunday, for example, you can have PSG video or probably no video. In terms of the friendlies over the weekend, I will be doing Saturday's game instantly. When the game finishes, I'll take my notes, record, edit, and upload. So that game should be out by tomorrow evening. And then the other one will be more around Monday, just after the Community Shield coverage. But yeah, there's a lot of content coming. Let me know what you want more of, basically. Always, because I may not reply to every comment. I've been trying to reply to a lot more recently because I'd got a bit slack for it. But I read as many of them as possible. I read pretty much all of them. I just don't have time to reply to every single one. But let me know video ideas because it helps a lot. Because I run out of ideas, I'll be honest. I kind of get burnt out a little bit. Just reading through the chat here. Someone saying his passing is awesome compared to half the players we have. I would assume you are referencing Mason Mount. Again, yeah, he just technically, he just does something, he's a bit cleaner than the rest of the team. And that really helps. Oh, I like to see this. A different question. Lee Parker, Mean and Mount. Yeah, I thought you did. Yeah, I completely agree with you. But a different question here. What do we think of Liverpool? Does anyone want to talk about that? I'll discuss it quickly. Because Codename, who is always in these streams, he's a legend of the channel, has asked, do I think Liverpool will struggle again? Define struggle. Like I said, next week, Tuesday or Wednesday, I want to do my Premier League predictions in a live stream, so subscribe with notifications on so you get to see that. No Liverpool, fair enough. I'll give this quick point. Yes, I think they're going to have some problems this season because I think they're building a weirdly profiled squad. I won't go into it in depth today because I think most people are here for United content, but I might do a video on it at some point because I think the problem they've got is they are scored a lot, concede a lot. That's probably the best way of summing it up. I was about to say it in 1,000 words. He's just done it in a couple. Yeah, I think they'll score a lot and concede a lot. What they're building is a team which has a really direct nature. Trent Alexander-Arnold likes to get the ball forward quickly. Andrew Robertson likes to get the ball forward really quickly. Szoboszlai, Mo Salah, these are direct footballers, right? They look to get the ball forward nice and quick. They really funnel it quickly. But they don't... That means you lose the ball, right? If you lose the ball, the opposition have the ball, you're open to transition. Liverpool don't have their counter press on point at the moment. They can't really get pressure on the ball, which is causing problems. But also, they just don't have the profiles to deal with a transition. Virgil van Dijk physically isn't quite what he was the other year. Andrew Robertson is playing a weird role. And there's no real ball winner in the side. I watched their game against Bayern the other day, and of course it's a friendly, so you've got to take that into consideration. But they're just being dribbled past and beaten too easily. Liverpool will still do well this year. They'll be in the top 6, probably just about top 4. But I just don't think they're there with City and Arsenal at the moment, because I thought they would be. When the season ended, I thought they were going to do really good business this summer and be there next season. I haven't liked their business so far. Do I think Chelsea will be a top 4 threat, even though they don't have midweek football to keep them ticking over? That's a good point, actually, on midweek football ticking over. Because a lot of people look at it as fatigue. So, yeah, there's positives and negatives to it. Someone just saying, is anyone else's audio cutting out, sort of? Let me know in chat if anyone else is having issues with the audio. But yeah, I think Chelsea could compete again. They look decent in pre-season. They're still missing a few players though. They need a 6. They need to get that Caicedo deal. A couple of people saying their audio was fine. Try just closing the stream and then coming back onto it. That might help. I think you're the only one with the issue at the moment. Let me know if it is okay though. Thank you everyone else for replying. But yeah, I think Chelsea will push, but probably not hit top 4. AJ, do you think Onana really had changed Man United play? He pushed the line so high, I literally don't recognise the team. Yeah, there's moments in that game against Real Madrid in particular, but also the second half against Dortmund, where it doesn't feel like I'm watching Manchester United. It's so good. So good. You guys, I think, probably know my thoughts on Onana. He's beautiful. I love him so much. Don't shy away from doing non-United content. I'm a fan of United first, but also a fan of football in general. Plus, it's interesting to see how our rivals are getting on. Thank you. I really appreciate the feedback. If people do want more of that content, I'm so happy to do it because I love looking at different teams. So I think I probably will upload that PSG video on Sunday. I think this channel, actually, I don't know how long you guys have been subscribed. This channel's been going for 2.5 years, something like that. The first year and a half, I literally didn't speak about Manchester United. Ever. Like, I done 1 or 2 videos occasionally, but I didn't want to become a United fan account. But, here we are. Here we are. We all talk, that's all we talk about. It is all we talk about. But yeah, I do love doing content on other teams as well. So if you are interested, I know it will always get less views, but for those of you that do want it, I will happily do it still. I also, if anyone was interested, I would be tempted up to maybe set up a Patreon page for, what, £2 a month, something like that, where I could put even more content out. At the moment, we are aiming for literally a video a day on the channel. I think this month we might hit 32 videos in 31 days, because on Monday we have a double upload. But if you guys want even more content, I would be tempted to do a Patreon. Like I said, it'd be like £2 per month. And it would just be more content. It would be access to a Discord group with me as well, so we could chat football all the time. So again, it's not something which is going to happen immediately, but let me know if you want it in the future. To be honest, AJ, I know Onana after watching the video you made on Ten Hag and Ajax team. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, Onana is really good for this team. So he's so good. I could talk about Onana for the next 4 hours if you guys want to. He's so good. Why? I don't know. I have a bad feeling about this season. Interesting. I think it's weird. Sometimes you get that, don't you? You just feel like it's going to be a bad year or it's going to be a good year, and you don't really have a particular reason why. How about making a series about how good other top 6 teams look like? We certainly could do that. The problem is like, if I do a video on Arsenal, it's one less video I get to do on United. And say United videos at the moment, your support has been off the charts. Off the charts. Every video at the moment is hitting about 10k views, whereas I do one on Arsenal and it hits like 500 views. So it's a balancing act, I guess. Couple of people saying about Aston Villa being a dark horse. I love this. Let's talk about different teams a bit more. Villa, watch out for them this year. I like their tactical setup in preseason. There's a few flaws to it. Like, just off the top of my head, they sometimes mark the opposition 6 a bit weirdly. But they're building a really nice squad there. Really nice team with Aston Villa. I think they'll do well in Europe as well. Yes, I will be covering the Community Shield this weekend, by the way. Looking forward to that game, actually. Learn a little bit about Manchester City. Learn a little bit about Arsenal. I will analyse that video on the channel on Monday morning. And then Monday afternoon, we'll have another upload, which will be United versus Bilbao from the game on Sunday. So, should be good fun. I think our football will be better, but results won't go our way. That's completely reasonable. Like I said, sometimes you just get those feelings, yeah. Watching Chelsea play, they are rapid in attack, but lack structure. Yeah, I think that's fair as well. They need balance still. I like the look of what Pochettino's doing there, and I'm a big fan of Pochettino. But yeah, it needs time. Out of interest, where do you guys think Manchester United will finish this season? Because I think Liverpool aren't quite there at the moment. I think Chelsea are in a rebuild. Spurs are in a rebuild. Newcastle, not a fan of their business. Maybe controversial, but I'm not a fan of it. Third, but closer. Second, anywhere in top 3. Second. Speaking about Man City, they lose Gundogan and Mahrez, but still have one of the best teams. Oh my god. They've built a brilliant squad. Yeah. I mean, if they lose someone like Bernardo Silva, that would be more of a problem. By the way, when I keep looking over here, I'm not, like, losing interest. It's where chat is. I don't want you guys to think that. Arsenal's built a very solid squad. Yeah, Arsenal are an interesting one to look at because the signings are a bit odd in the sense that I don't think many people expected, like Havertz, for example. Instead, why don't you do United versus the top 6, since those were our downfalls last season? Good idea. What I also want to do, just on that topic, is I want to look into maybe United against matches away from home. Because last season, United's away form was terrible. I need to look into why United were so bad away from home last season, and maybe how that can improve this season. But I think it would take a lot of research. If you guys would like that, let me know. But it might be a long time before that video comes out because I'd have to watch a lot of footage. I've watched way too much football. The season isn't even on, and I'm watching way too much football. After the Jesus injury, which front 3 is best for Arsenal? I think it'll probably be a straight swap with Nketiah coming up front. I think he's a good player, so I think he'll probably just come straight in. Is Livramento a good player? Yes. Livramento is a really good player. The problem with Newcastle signing him is you're spending 40 million, roughly, on a player who missed a whole year. We saw how that went for Chelsea with Fofana. They spent about 70 million on Fofana after he just missed a year of injury, and he can't, like, quite get back into it. Livramento might have the same problem. It's really, really dangerous to sign players after a long injury. Which midfield do I think Ten Hag will use? Mount, Casemiro, Bruno, or Amrabat, Casemiro, Bruno? Good question. I like the assumption that Amrabat's coming to the club. I do like that. Probably the first one with Mount, Bruno, and Casemiro, but expect Amrabat to come in for certain games, maybe like away games in Europe, for example, games against big sides. Of course, Casemiro missing games through suspension or injury, the same for Mason Mount. Rotation will be important. So we'll see all of them, but I think it'll be the first. I don't think City will be as good this season as they're losing players and not really replacing them yet. And United and Arsenal are looking strong. I think the top 3 can go anyway. Yeah. I agree with that. I don't think City are quite as strong. I'm also not sure. I'm also not sure about Arsenal. Will I do national teams? Like why Brazil unable to win a World Cup since prime R9, given they had so many talents. In what sort of format would you like that? I really like international football. A lot of people hate it. I'm a big fan of international football. I don't know why. Yeah, I could do something like that. It's more, I have to be honest, at times, figuring out what's going to get views as well. It's that juggling act of doing content I like producing, but also like what's going to get views, because views pay. I have to be honest. When will we be able to see Kobe Mainoo back in the squad? They said the first part of the season he's missing, right? Does anyone want to quickly talk about Amrabat? Love the honesty. Yeah, gotta be honest. I have to be honest. Like, it's true. Like, if I do a video every day and it gets 500 views because I'm doing Aston Villa videos, I'm doing Newcastle, I just can't keep the channel going, basically. I do have to do some for views because it pays for the channel. And new equipment as well. Just to kind of say, if anyone is kind of spamming the same comment over and over again, I'm probably unlikely. If you just spam the same thing, copy and paste, I'm probably not going to reply to it. There's so much coming through. Switch it up a little bit. Will Amrabat start ahead of Casemiro maybe one day? Yeah, maybe. I think not in the short term. I think there will probably be games where he's kind of picked and chosen. Let's say, for example, United have got Luton. You've got, like, okay, example, you've got Champions League game on Wednesday against Real Madrid. You've got Luton at the weekend. You've got Champions League game again, or a league game, which is difficult. Maybe you bring Amrabat in for that game against Luton, where you're not quite as worried about the defensive side of the game, although he is good from that aspect anyway. But you're focusing on what he would bring on the ball. So yeah, I think he will pay. One striker bar Kane. Who would you sign? Probably Taremi if it's alongside Højlund. I think it is the best option. Do I see a future where Amrabat is our starter? Yeah, kind of touched on it there. I think he will be eventually, but not just yet. I think it will take a bit of time. Any thoughts about the new Champions League format? Could you explain what it is to me? Because off the top of my head, I can't think about it. I can't think of it. Yeah, so someone said it there. I think expect Amrabat to come in when United are playing Manchester City away from home. And it'll be something like this. Or maybe even at a stretch, one of Mount or Fernandes on the wing, although not ideal in my opinion. How much would you pay for 2012 Messi or 2014 Ronaldo, considering inflation? I had this conversation with someone the other day talking about what, I can't think what player it was, but what they'd be worth in today's market. I dread to think. I think it was these two I was talking about. It would be mental. Prime Messi and Ronaldo are costing over 350 million, aren't they? Which is mental. Yeah, Ali, if you could explain the new Champions League format, because I'm not familiar with it off the top of my head. Heard there won't be group stages before the knockout stages. Is that kind of like in a couple of years? Someone saying talk more about Messi. Do I need to do Inter Miami content? Interesting. I'll have to look into that Champions League and kind of give my opinions on it more there. We have another super chat from Tony. Thank you very much for the $10. If everyone could say thank you in chat, greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much, Tony. Really do appreciate it. As a rival fan, who do you support? United transfer just seemed okay. No needle movers. United should be in the Moises Caicedo, Kane or Lavia. Big impact player. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much for the kind words. I do understand where you're coming from. I think, for example, Onana is a needle mover. I think he is. But yeah, United maybe haven't signed quite the calibre of midfielder which was hoped for. But we're just going to have to see it. It might click because you don't always have to go big. Sometimes you have to go a bit lower and then build the players. And I think that's what Ten Hag's going for here. I still think he's good. I think like it has been a good window. I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10 or something. So I think it's been good, but yeah, I do understand your point. And again, thank you very much for the donation. Just joined the stream. What are we talking about right now? Whatever you want, basically. I'm just going through what you guys are talking about. Top man Tony, says Lee Parker. Absolutely, top man Tony indeed. Thank you very much, Tony. I do appreciate it. Thoughts on Lavia for Liverpool? Lavia is one of the best young midfielders in the world. I think at the moment he's probably a deeper 8, whereas I fear Liverpool might use him as a solo 6, which would leave me a little bit concerned. Unreal player. Will it work? Hit the ground running at Liverpool? We'll have to see. How does Amrabat ball progression compare to De Jong? Should we have a look at that? Give me 1 second. Let me get the pages up. We'll go to FBref reports. I'm really close to the mic right now. Apologies for that. Really close to the camera as well. Enjoy this ugly mug. Alright, I'm going to find Amrabat's progression numbers real quick. We'll go for passing. Yeah, we'll go for passing numbers. And then let me find Frankie de Jong's. Because as I always say, you guys ask, I'll try my best to deliver it. Do I want Greenwood back? I have a very strong opinion on the Greenwood situation. But I'm only going to focus on the football side of it. Hopefully, anyone affected by the situation is kind of like gets the help they need. But yeah, in terms of Greenwood, I will just focus purely on the football side of it, just because it's such a like awful topic. So I won't be focusing on that today. Sorry that I can't answer your question. Does Ahmad bring something different than Anthony on the right hand side? Yeah, I think he does. I think he brings a bit more of an ability to maybe come into the half space a little bit more, which that might be good for him. But I know that Ten Hag does like a wide player on the right hand side, so that might actually work against him. Why do you think that Rashford's form fell in the latter half of last season? Is it tactical or is it related to Rashford himself? Well, you mean the last month or so, yeah. He did drop off. He did. I think the United team dropped off. Casemiro, for example, fell off a cliff. I think the team became incredibly fatigued towards the end of the season. So I don't think they were going to really like... What? I've completely lost what I was saying. Yeah, United players were fatigued, so they were never going to hit the same height. But also, Rashford has said yesterday, I believe it was, that he had some injury troubles. So hopefully he's past them. Do I think Rashford's dribbling got worse? Again, he said he had an injury, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and assume it was that. Because last time people kind of criticised him when he had an injury, he came back and produced last season. So, yeah, late April he weren't great towards the end of the season, but I'd give him the benefit of the doubt for now. I think he earned it last season. Would I try Scott McTominay as a forward? I mean, I actually don't hate the idea. It's where he played in the academy. I don't hate it, but it's probably never going to happen. But like, it's one of those ones where you'll always think, could he have played there? Could he have played there? Yeah, they played every midweek since last Christmas. So, yeah. The players were shattered by the end of the season. Do I think Onana is the most important signing till now? Yeah, I think they all bring different things, but at the moment, I would say Onana is the most important. Will Rashford start more in the centre than Højlund at the start of the season? I don't even know, actually. Can I have your thoughts, guys? Can you give me right now, let's say Højlund is announced tomorrow, which we believe will be the case. What do you think is the front three for Wolves? Is it Rashford left, Sancho up front, Anthony right-hand side? Is it Rashford left, Højlund up front? Is it Rashford up front, Garnacho or Sancho left? And not what do you want it to be, but genuinely what do you think it will be? Someone asking about Paul Gascoigne. I'll be honest, it's before my time, so I couldn't really tell you. I'd have to kind of research it, I'll be honest. So I'm seeing, well, this is going quick. Rashford, Sancho, Antony, Rashford, Sancho, Antony, Rashford, Højlund, Antony, Rashford, Sancho, Antony. So it seems like at the moment people are going for this, but people saying maybe Højlund up top. Obviously, we don't know how like ready Højlund is to play. He's played a decent amount in preseason, but we're just gonna have to see if he's ready to actually start. I think Ten Hag will integrate Højlund like he did with Casemiro. Yeah, it's a little bit difficult to predict because someone like Antony, for example, came in and played like straight away, whereas Casemiro's really eased into the team. So it's a little bit difficult to guess. Someone is talking about Greenwood again. Like I said, if I'll put it quite simply with Mason Greenwood, right? I am a football channel, and I am a Manchester United football channel. If Mason Greenwood becomes a Manchester United player, a footballer, once again, I will talk about his tactical fit in the side. Simple as that. United's crossing is below par and our set pieces are shocking. Why? I agree. And I agree. Why? I don't know. I think Luke Shaw's a good crosser, to be fair. I think what we'll see this season, I think we will see a bit more of a crossing game. Rasmus Højlund isn't the best header of a ball, but I think we will see it kind of coached into him this season. And I think that will help someone like Antony, because he did cross more at Ajax when Haller was in the middle. Last season, he didn't really have that because Weghorst was often forced to drop a little bit deeper. And like Rashford doesn't offer that aerial threat. Martial, for example. So I think we will see more crosses this season. And hopefully we will therefore see a progression in terms of crosses and crossing ability. But what I quickly want to do is go and look at these FBref reports, which I was talking about earlier. Someone asked for them. Talking about Amrabat. Let's get his FBref report up here. Oh, I'm in a different place on the screen now. We can see his numbers here, though, right? Passes into the final third, passes into penalty area, crosses into the penalty area, which is actually something I haven't focused on, by the way, at all. But it is something I've noticed when researching him. He's a really good crosser. He's a strangely good crosser for quite a deep midfielder. So, yeah, keep an eye on that if Amrabat was to sign. But progressive passes, we're looking at 7.93 per 90, ranking him in the 92nd percentile. So remember that. That's Amrabat. Let's go to Frenkie de Jong. So we've gone from 7.93 to 9.39. So it is a jump, but I don't think any midfielder who plays Frenkie de Jong's role is as good as Frenkie de Jong. I think he's unbelievable. So that's kind of a rough comparison. But like I said, Frenkie de Jong is the best of the best in terms of this role, in my opinion. So don't judge Amrabat too harshly. I think those numbers are pretty good. I'm quite impressed with them. Yeah, someone said it there. Amrabat has a lot of the qualities that you kind of wanted from de Jong, but not all of them. He's not quite as good. Yeah, and exactly. Like, Frenkie de Jong isn't the deepest midfielder, for example, whereas Amrabat most likely would be a lot of the time. So yeah, they're not the same player, so it's difficult to compare them. But yeah, he certainly brings some of the technical quality that Frenkie de Jong might have brought to the side. Or would have brought to the side, let's be honest. Rashford would rather shoot 10 times and cross one. Feels that way at times. Hopefully, like I said, maybe not even crosses. Let me just put that down. What we might see more of this season, which we didn't see enough of last year, was cutbacks. Players get into positions like this, and then cutting the ball back here, where you have either your striker sniffing it out, or you have your strikers made a run towards a goal line, dragging defenders, leaving room for someone else to attack. That is something that I would look for this season. Hopefully we'll see more of that. And Højlund should aid that massively. Do I think Taremi would be a good signing? Yeah, I spoke about it a few times. I think Taremi would be a really good signing. I have covered it on the channel. There is a separate video on it. Yeah, I think it'd be great depth for the team. Frenkie de Jong is a pure talent. Yeah, he is. Frenkie de Jong is unbelievable. Our decision making in the final third is shocking. Yeah, to an extent, you have to agree with that. I think it's hard to disagree. Just give me 1 second, guys. I quickly need to do something. Give me 10 seconds. I'll be back. Told you I wouldn't be long. I'm back. What do you see Facundo Pellistri at left wing? He looks very good compared to right wing. Yeah, he looked really bright in that game. I really enjoyed Facundo Pellistri's performance. I was shocked a little bit to see him on the left wing in that game, but I thought he played really well, so maybe that gives him potential moving forward. Apologies, I'm keep rubbing my nose. That's why I just disappeared then to blow my nose. I've got hay fever and it's beating me up today. Gonzalo Ramos at PSG versus Rasmus at United. Who does better? Good question. Really difficult to compare, really, because they're such different profiles, playing for very different teams. I think they'll both do really well, because Gonzalo Ramos is top. He's top. Really good player. But, of course, Højlund could be that as well. So, I think they'll both do really well. And I don't think we should try to compare too much. Do I think Todibo this summer would be better than Antonio Silva next summer? Really good question. I think Antonio Silva, I've said it before, has that higher ceiling and higher potential as a player. But Todibo kind of offers you that short term. I genuinely don't know. Genuinely don't know what I would say. Someone saying Diamond would be better. That's also a shout for it. I think Diamond might be the choice over Silva a little bit more. But again, we'll see over the next season. Have I seen any of United's training drills in San Diego? There's a channel, not trolling, that had a couple of videos on 7v7 games. Maybe you can take a look at them. I will try to remember that. Let me write that down real quick. And I will try and remember that. What about the Branthwaite links? I don't know enough about him, I have to be honest with you. But if he gets more heavily linked, I'll have a look into it. AJ, I think United could propose McTominay or McSauce and Maguire for Scamacca. Scamacca, by the way, is another player which could be a shout as a backup striker. I genuinely think he's really good. And at a low fee... Actually, I wouldn't hate it. Let me just write... What was I writing? Someone said about channel, right? Where's it gone? I've lost it in chat. Here it is. I'll take note of that and I'll check it out at some point. Thank you very much for the suggestion. Scamacca can work as a deep line forward. Yeah, he's been misprofiled and someone there has asked about his profile. I didn't expect to be talking about Scamacca today, but let's do it. Scamacca is someone that I wanted last summer. If you go back to this time last year, I actually had a video on why United should maybe consider him. Now, the content was much worse back then, so maybe you don't want to watch it. But people have looked at him and seen he's 6'5", and they assume that therefore he's this target man which you go long to all the time. And obviously, David Moyes liked to do that. We suffered from that. But he's so technical. He's so technically good for a 6'5" player. He's really good with his feet. He's a decent ball carrier. He likes to get on the turn and try and pass the ball. Really good shots from distance. He is a player which can be kind of at times your deep lying linking forward, but then also really good in the box. That's kind of a rough idea. What are my early Premier League predictions? I'll cover that more in depth next week. Let me find out when I've written the stream in for. 1 second. Tuesday the 8th of August. I'll stream my preseason predictions. Early prediction: City, Arsenal, United, Liverpool, top 4. That's my early prediction. What do I think of Hannibal staying? Currently he's being linked with... Who did we speak about earlier? Was it Luton? On a loan move. Hannibal Mejbri is one which kind of... I'm not convinced on either way. I don't think he should be sold because I think there's something there. And I think if you sell him and he goes on to be really good, you maybe regret it. Luton loan, thank you. I thought that was the one. Who are United's youngsters who's going to make it and who won't? Really difficult question. Do you mean make it as a footballer or do you mean make it at Manchester United? From the current crop, make it at Manchester United, Kobe Mainoo's the one for me. The others I'm not too sure. I haven't watched a ton of the youth team. Dan Gore's really impressed in pre-season. I've actually got a video coming on him next week, so look out for that if you are interested in youth players. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Inter offered 25 million for Scamacca. Maybe he is a better option than Taremi. Yeah, really, really keep an eye on him. Scamacca. I think if he goes back to Inter next season, I think he's going to blow up again. I think he's such a good player. Garnacho and Kobe Mainu, in my opinion, yeah, those are the two I would say. Lacey as well. I've seen a bit about him, but I haven't watched him before. But I've read a few pieces on him. Dan Gore looks like a good fit. Yeah, like I said, I'll cover that next week, Tuesday morning. So maybe we can talk about it in the stream next week. Yeah, he looks like a really good technical, kind of press resistant, decent little ball carrier, progressive passer. Yeah, all round looks pretty good. Dan Gore is the boy. Yeah, well, turn notifications on for Tuesday and you'll see a video on it because, yeah, I like the look of him. The last time I watched a technical tall striker that strived under deep lying forward is Berber. Scamacca can be that though. Yeah, I see the similarities. Scamacca's probably a bit more active than Berbatov was at times, and ball control not quite as good as Berbatov. But yeah, like I said, I didn't expect to be talking about Scamacca today. He's a really good player though, really good player. I just realised, by the way, I've been talking about Scamacca on a tactical board, which you guys can't even see. I'm not great at this. Why are you guys subscribed? The content's awful. Alvaro Fernandez is another shout. Yeah, he's the other one as well. We were talking about him the other week. His problem is more the quality in front of him. But yeah, I think he's done well in preseason. He's got one last chance to impress at the weekend. Probably ends up with another loan move this season, I would imagine, though. Yeah, Berbatov's ball control was phenomenal. There's a video going around on Twitter at the moment the other day, actually. That didn't make sense. Let me just try again. There's a video going around on Twitter at the moment, which I saw the other day, which was Berbatov kind of like showing off his control and stuff and like how to control a football. He's still so good at it. He is still so good. Oh, someone's throwing up at the thought of Scamacca. Reasonable, but trust me, I think he's good. Would I loan Malacia out and keep Fernandez? No, I probably would keep Malacia, loan Fernandez. Malacia just knows the system a little bit better, I think, after last season. Bit more experience, but maybe the year after that you have a look at it. Content is great, thank you so much. What is the future for Joe Hugel? He's another player which I haven't followed enough of. I don't really watch that much of the academy football. When there's a player I want to focus on, I go watch that player, and then I do it, but I'm not really paying too much attention to the rest of them. Because say, for example, right, when I say I'm scouting Amrabat, for example, I'm watching him. I don't watch Fiorentina, I watch Amrabat. So there's a lot of players I don't know enough about yet. Yeah, I agree about loaning to Eredivisie as well, rather than the Championship. Championship loan moves are good for certain players, but not necessarily for these like creative, small midfielders. Man United need to have Kovar as number 2. Did Kovar ever leave on loan? He was linked with it at one point, and I was going to do a video on it. Obviously, United has still been linked with Zion Suzuki. He's obviously a potential backup. So Kovar hasn't left yet. Okay, in that case, I might do a video on it. He weren't in tour though, was he? The American tour. What do I think of the United loan system? Not great. I don't think they make great use. Bishop's gone. Got you. My bad. Will Højlund feature in the Bilbao game? I have no idea. So he's supposedly getting unveiled tomorrow. I think it's unlikely that he then travels to Edinburgh, I believe it is, for the game on Sunday. Maybe he plays Saturday. Like, people have kind of ruled that out a little bit. Højlund might play tomorrow. He might kind of have his unveiling before the game, sit on the bench for an hour, get the last half hour of football. I don't know. He could. I don't know. He might make his debut tomorrow. I just don't know. Oh, the game's in Dublin, is it? Apologies. Yeah, again, I agree that we should loan to Germany or the Netherlands rather than the Championship. Again, it depends on the player, because obviously you have to kind of switch it. Like, players have different needs. But in general, yeah, I agree. Thoughts on Kudus? Ten Hag apparently wants a versatile forward. Kudus ticks that box. He can play as a false 9. He can play as a winger on both sides. He can play as a high 8. So it makes sense. I just don't think it will be prioritised. We have another super chat, £1.99 from Natty. Thank you so much for the donation. What's the difference between big chances and XG? I have to be honest, literally from a statistical point of view, I don't know literally the definition of a big chance, but XG is when I shoot, the position I'm shooting from, the foot I'm shooting from, everything like that, how likely am I to score, basically. So if the XG is 0.45, it means that the research has been done behind the shot, and that 45% of the time you would expect the player to score from that position. If the expected goals is 0.11, it means you expect a player to score that shot 11% of the time. In terms of what is the definition of big chances created, say like Bruno Fernandes picks the ball up in this position here, if you can see it. Bruno Fernandes picks the ball up and he plays a lovely ball over the top like this. Rasmus Højlund races onto it, right? Bruno Fernandes has created the big chance and, you know, got into this position. This is registered as one big chance for Højlund, but in terms of XG, it might only be a 0.4 expected goals or a 0.6. Depends on the situation. So hopefully that clarifies. I don't literally know the definition of big chances because different websites use it in a different way. But if everyone could say thank you for the donation, it is greatly appreciated. I really do appreciate you supporting the channel. So yeah, thank you very much. Hopefully I've answered your question to an extent, but thank you again. Because again, it's people like that making donations which keep the channel going. So I really do appreciate it. Genuinely the best United channel on YouTube. We made it. We made it. Thank you. That really kind words because there's a lot of United channels. So I really appreciate that. Thank you. Have I scouted any fullbacks for Ten Hag's system? Not as of yet. Not particularly. Not particularly. Left back I haven't touched. Really, I haven't even looked at it. Right back I've looked into Bar at Benfica. He's the one kind of piquing my interest. But like, yeah, I haven't massively looked into it. We spoke about Frimpong earlier in the year. Doesn't really float my boat. Mazraoui is actually probably the one that I would go for at this moment in time. It might change in a year. A lot of the times when people suggest loans, they forget the receiving teams actually have to be interested. True, and also the player themselves. Like you said there, it's easy for me to say, we should loan Hannibal to Brighton. Does Hannibal want to go to Brighton? Does he want to move to that part of the country? Do Brighton want him? You know, it's easy to sit here on paper and say, oh, it'd be a good fit. But you have to know if they want them or not. And if the player wants it, it is more complicated than we make out on the channel. Very true. Young Dortmund players to watch out for. Someone said it there. Adeyemi is certainly one. In terms of, I can't remember his name. I'm going to find this actually because this is going to annoy me if I don't find it. There was a young kid who came on last game of the season against Bayern, not against Bayern, sorry. But when they were going for the title, they needed the win to... Mukoko is one. Yep, Mukoko is definitely a shout. There was a young winger came on. I can't think of his name. Mainz, last day of the season. Let me find it. Duranville. I believe it was him. Bino Gittins is another shout. He's a really good player. This is Duranville. He came on for, as you can see, like the last half hour of the game and completed 3 out of 3 dribbles. And when I say like he completed 3 out of 3 dribbles in like 60 seconds of coming on the bench. Like, so keep an eye out for him because he really impressed me in that game. Slight tangent, but yeah, just keep an eye on him because it really impressed me. Really bright. So maybe it could be him. Maybe. We'll have to wait and see. What else can we talk about? Can you talk about Tchouaméni links to United? Is he being linked? If he's being linked, then wowzers. It'd cost 90 million or something. But yeah, he'd be the perfect fit. He'd be so good for this Casemiro role. I wanted him last summer. Again, you can go back and find the content. I was quite early on Tchouaméni. A lot of people knew about him, wanted gone to Madrid. I was on Tchouaméni early, and I wanted him at United. So I was disappointed. Am I doing an FPL league? I am. I don't know when I'm going to launch it. It'll be this week. In terms of, okay, FPL. I get distracted every time a chat comes through. FPL, I will be launching a league this week. At the moment, I'm trying to get it sponsored so that the winner can get something. Whether that be a football shirt, like a mystery box, a subscription to blah, blah, blah. But yeah, there will be an FPL league. It will all be released during the week. So, yeah, look out for the FPL league because I love FPL. And actually, like I said earlier in the stream, you may not have been here at the time. I'm going to go live every Friday during the season. We're going to talk about United's game that weekend, the Premier League in general. But I would like to do a little FPL segment as well. So if people are interested in that, absolutely. Ali with another donation. Ali, I believe you are like by far the record donator on this channel. Is that 4 or 5 donations you've done on this channel now? So thank you again so much. Shout out to Ali, absolute legend. Thank you for keeping the channel drama free / transfer rumours free and keeping it 100 pure football. One of the main reasons I enjoy the channel. Keep up the good work, AJ. Arm off to work. You are all legends. Thank you so much for coming into the stream, Ali. I appreciate you so much. You help and support this channel constantly. It really is appreciated. I hope you have a good day at work. Enjoy your weekend. Keep enjoying the streams. Hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Yeah, have a good weekend as well, mate. And I'll see you later. Casemiro's nightmarish Tchouaméni. Casemiro fled Madrid to escape Tchouaméni. Have we just suddenly had some Real Madrid fans join or something? Did they hear us talking about it? What are my predictions for the formation tomorrow? So, does anyone know yet what squad is with the Saturday game and what squad is with the Sunday game? Because I think tomorrow will be our stronger team, personally. And I think, I'll give you my starting 11 if you want. I think tomorrow we will see this. Something which looks a little bit like this. Mount a tad deeper than Bruno Fernandes, so at times it's a 4-3-3, at times it's a bit more of a 4-2-3-1. But yeah, something like that. No, we are all United fans. Oh, fair enough. Just love Tchouaméni. Yeah, Tchouaméni is quality. Incredible footballer. Thanks for not having the roller coaster of emotion that some channels go through instead of content. Thank you for the kind words. I really appreciate that. Basically, what happens with the content is I will watch United or I will watch these players. I have my roller coaster of emotions off camera. I go through the ups and downs off camera. I'm a very heart on sleeve sort of Manchester United fan. The results affect me. You know, like when United win, I'm really happy. When United lose, my mood is ruined for the rest of the day. Certain players really, really annoy me and anger me. But I try and keep it as kind of level-headed for you guys as possible. If I ever slip up, I apologise. But I'm sure you guys will keep me in check. Do I think Mount will struggle this season? No, I don't think we'll see high goals and assists, but I think we'll see good performances. Yeah, I've gone for Diallo over Wan-Bissaka simply because we've seen a lot of Wan-Bissaka in pre-season. We haven't seen as much of Diallo, but Dallo's kind of been given what it feels like was a couple of games to impress, and he did impress. So I think he might be given a chance in this game from the start. Again, this is just a prediction. There's nothing behind this. No ties with the club as such. But yeah, that's what I would guess. Yeah, Ten Hag does always give us humble pie with the lineup though, yeah. Let me know what you think, guys. Who would you go for? Yeah, them lot at United stand are doing my head in with their drama and one-sided opinions. I'm not going to speak in case they want to collaborate one day. Yeah, but like I said, I like to keep it level-headed. I like to keep it analytical, stuff like that. Bring you facts. Can I explain like what's different formation between 4-2-3-1 and 4-3-3? I can. I'll do it briefly though, because I think that's maybe a video in itself. Quickly, before I go on to that. Would you guys be interested in a series, right, where in today's video, we talk about the 4-3-3. What's so good about the 4-3-3? And then in another video, we talk about what's so good about the 4-2-3-1. The 4-4-2, the 5-3-2. Would you guys like that? Where it's not Manchester United based, but it's football tactic based. Like my video the other week on how to beat the football meta. I loved making that video because it was something different. If you guys would like to see that in the future, definitely something I can do. In terms of what are the differences between 4-2-3-1 and 4-3-3, it's the big difference is having this out and out 10. So obviously, by having a double pivot, you've got more players deeper, right? So when you're building the ball up from the back, you've probably got a wider build-up structure. Because at the moment, if you play a 4-3-3, we see teams do this. You push 2 midfielders forward, and your fullbacks come a little bit narrower. So your build-up structure is a little bit narrower, but chances are your attacking structure is a little bit wider. 4-2-3-1, you drop a player deeper, which means your fullbacks are a little bit wider. So you've got a slightly wider build-up structure, but then because you've only got kind of one player in these spaces, your wingers probably then come a little bit narrower, and your fullbacks get round a little bit more. That's kind of a rough, quick breakdown. Of course, it's way more in depth than that, but that's just a rough idea of it. 4-4-2 is the best formation to beat Pep's side. Did you watch my video? Because, yeah, I agree with something like that. Okay, a lot of people want that content. Okay, that's good to know. Those you Rashford positional pressing is good enough because most times he gives extra work to a left back. Yeah, Rashford needs work in this area. I'll tell you what I would do, right? I'll tell you right now the pressing structure I'd like to see at the club. Let's say United are in a 4-3-3 and you're playing against a 4-2-3-1, like we've got set up here. And the goalkeeper's going to play the ball up from the back. Now, in an ideal world, I have a really kind of aggressive pressing structure I'd like to use, but I don't think it'll be used. I've spoken about it before on the channel. There's a video on it, but I don't think that will be the case. Yeah, I could talk about any formation in that sense, yeah. What are we talking about? Rashford pressing. What I would like to see is have this striker like this. The wingers wide on the fullbacks, but just inside, right? Not massively. But what I would like to see is that the pass to the centre-backs to trigger. So the striker would then cut them off and force them one way. And this winger's got this player covered. And then the far winger, Rashford in this situation, is going to come in here. Now, this was something which United have started to do. But the problem they had last season was that it left this out ball. That's why, as this ball is played here, not only does the winger lock on this side, the striker locks on here, and the winger locks on here, it's also the cue for this fullback to come stand here. So as this ball goes backwards and then comes out like this, your player is then there. We've seen it in moments during preseason, and Chelsea have done it in moments during preseason. When it works really well. And I think that's a way in which you can kind of help Rashford out. And, yeah, just improve the whole defensive structure. So that's kind of an idea that I've got. A lot of people want that content, though. That is great to see. Thank you very much. So, yeah, of course, people talk about formations. Formations are formations are so fluid and so interchanging that formations almost aren't important. Sounds crazy to say, but it's all about, I don't know. The formation isn't important. If it's a 4-3-3, a 4-2-3-1, it's all about the structure and the rotations in the game. A formation's kind of quite a easy label to make. But like they're not as obvious as what they look on paper. A 4-2-3-1 won't always look exactly like a 4-2-3-1. It will change. For example, you can play a 4-2-3-1 like United often do. One of your midfielders pushes further forward, the other one kind of curls around a bit. Suddenly you've got a 4-3-3. So formations change all the time. Do you and Atlantis Football know each other personally? I didn't know him before, but I now know him through YouTube. We've done a podcast together on his channel. Really great guy. So yeah, I don't know him outside of YouTube, but through YouTube I know him. Done loads of edit and work for him, stuff like that. So yeah, good guy. I liked the video you did on the 3x3. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. I really liked making it. It was something a little bit different. I like looking at a football formation, in this situation a 3x3, and figuring out how you can break it moving forward. Did I sense some of American bandwagon speaking about football/soccer? My ears are bleeding hard. I think I know what video you're talking about. Yeah, yeah. Less said on that one, the better. In my opinion, though, the more, a lot of people don't. This is a dodgy subject. A lot of people don't like, for some reason, for example, when someone from America talks about football. I don't understand that. You want everyone watching football. More people watching football, the better. That means there's like more people to talk to about football. So it's brilliant. Some people are less educated, but that's the case in every country. I live in England, and there are plenty of English people which are so poorly educated on football, it hurts my brain. It happens everywhere. It's not to do with kind of where they're from or anything like that. It's, it happens everywhere. Who do I think is better, Højlund or Ferguson? I'm a bigger fan of Ferguson. I think it's quite close, similar mould of player. Ferguson technically is a bit cleaner though. Not quite as frighteningly fast as Højlund, but a bit more technical. So I would edge it to Ferguson. Have I seen Football Meta's video on relationism in the Brazilian league? Really interesting video and a system that could be used in the Prem in a couple of years' time. I haven't seen the video. I wanted to watch it the other day actually, because his content is so good. So good. Definitely check out Football Meta if you haven't. Great content. You've probably heard of him because he's huge. Yeah, really good content. And yeah, I'll check that out at some point. How good is Højlund at pressing? Decent. He's got a goal, for example, where the ball goes back to the goalkeeper like this, and Højlund kind of hunts it down and slide tackles the ball into the net. So that, for example, kind of points to the fact that he could do it. So yeah. Yeah, I get what you're saying about football. Some people's football opinions are difficult to comprehend. Some people talk so confidently and seem like they know so little. But it's part of it. It's part of football. Would I take a harsh step and sell Rashford if he fails to deliver this season? Well, it's a big if. I'd consider it for any player, though. Rashford had such a good year last year, though. It is a big if. Someone's talking about Harry Kane. What's going on there? Harry Kane not going to Bayern now. What's this about? Let me just find it. Let me have a look. Bayern want and expect Tottenham to decide today about Harry Kane deal, as reported earlier. The position is clear on Bayern's side, make or break after new improved bid. Bayern already has green light from Kane. What's going on there then? Someone said it's off. Let me have a look. Is it getting a bit spicy? By the way, if you're interested as well, Amrabat hasn't been called up for Fiorentina's next game. So the Bayern news looks like it's here all day. Here all day? What did I just say? What? Make or break is what I was trying to say. Here all day. Thoughts on Elise? Good player. Want to watch him more. Linked with Manchester City and Chelsea. I couldn't tell you too much about him. But this season, right, I want to get to the point where now or never is what I was trying to say, yeah. I want to get to the point where you guys name a footballer and I'm like, bang, I know so much about them. I'd love to get to that point. Thoughts on the state of modern punditry / commentary in the UK aside from Monday Night Football? I think it's dire. I think CBS last season balanced humour and mainstream analysis quite well. Again, I'm not going to speak too harshly just in case, Sky, you want to get me on? I'll be there. But I'm not a big fan of mainstream media and coverage. I think the punditry is average. I don't like it. Not a fan. Like I said, just in case they want to get me on, I'm not going to say too much. No, it's entertaining though. Do you do watch-alongs? I haven't done one before. I could maybe do one. The problem is, right, I have this tradition that I watch every single Manchester United game, pretty much. I missed a couple, of course, with my brother. We sit there and watch football, and I like having that. So, and doing watch-alongs would obviously affect that. Maybe it's unlikely that I do watch-alongs on Manchester United, if I'm being brutally honest. Say if we get to the Euros next summer, I certainly could. I wish I'd done it during the World Cup. Maybe, though. Well, don't rule it out. There certainly could be games where I do it, for sure. Please take over from McManaman. I don't think I do very well on commentary. Like, have you heard me try and talk? I really struggle. Anything serious about the Tchouaméni rumour? Not that I've seen, but maybe it's there. Get my brother in the watch along? I'll have to ask him. Does Amrabat have better pass completion than Casemiro? Yeah, quite a bit better. Quite a bit better. Someone saying something about... What? Can we see both Casemiro and Amrabat on the 11? Oh, sorry, I was misreading that. Yeah, we could. We could. Casemiro alongside Amrabat. Mason Mount comes out the side in big games, something like that. Or maybe Mount moves wide right and Antony comes out the side when you're playing someone like Manchester City. That could work as well. I think there'll be games where it happens. Whereabouts am I from? I am from England. Do you think Van der Beek could do well at Sociedad? Don't know too much about their style of play. I'm in the same boat as you there. I had no idea about their style of play. No idea at all. Can Lisandro Martinez play CDM? Not a fan of the term CDM in general. I think we'll see at times this season, though, that he will step into midfield. I don't think he'll start there for United. But I think there will be spells in games where we see a shape which looks like this. Yeah, that, for example, very possible. We've seen it in spells in preseason. No, I have not met any of the Manchester United players. Some of them may not like what I say about them, so maybe I need to avoid them. No, I reckon they'd like me. Maybe Casemiro and Varane wouldn't. No, I praised them still. Yeah, I think they'd like me. Maybe McTominay wouldn't like me. Yeah, Onana, like you said there, definitely helps Martinez push into midfield. Lisandro Martinez or Timber. Timber's a bit better with things like dribbling, ball carrying out of the back. I prefer Lisandro Martinez's passing. Defensively, I think they're quite similar, ability-wise. Both very good players, though. Hang on, there's a comment, but I forgot what it was. If Amrabat was our last signing, do you think we could fight for the title? Oh, there we go. Let's come back again. It depends what you mean by fight for the title. Does fight for the title mean you finish 1 point off? Or does it mean in April you're still just about hanging on? I think just about hanging on is possible. The way that I see the timeline unfolding is that this season is probably third place again. Probably a similar points tally, but improved football. Then the season after that, that's where I'm excited. That is where I'm excited. Codename saying he watched an Inter Milan game with his girlfriend and she asked if Onana is a midfielder. Honestly, I understand the confusion. If you watched the Champions League final, he was here half the time. So yeah, I don't blame her for being confused. And what do I think of the new kits? I like the home kit. Not a big fan of the away kit. It's alright, but what's the third kit? Can't remember the third kit. Do I think we might need to upgrade on Antony next year? Again, it all depends on the season he has now. We've got to remember, right? We have to remember this. They're human, right? It's so difficult for Antony to come to a new league at, is he 21 years old, with a big fee, playing for, I think most of you would agree, the biggest club in world football, certainly top 2. At a young age, new country, new league, high expectation, high fee, and hit the ground running. It is really difficult. So I'd give him a bit of time. Yeah, I can't remember what the third kit looks like. Oh, is it the white kit with the red Adidas stripes? Antony is 23. Okay, so he's a bit older than I thought, but it's still a similar situation, right? 23 in the context of life, he's still a young person. Do I think Ten Hag will go for Mazraoui? I would love him to. Have I moved the mic? I just punched a book. Could you see this before? Yeah, I really like Mazraoui. He's another player where if you go back a year and watch my content, I was crying out for him last season. So I don't think he will, but maybe next year. Okay, so a couple of points on Antony there. People saying about his profile being horrible, he can't beat his man, etc. Thanks for tuning into the stream, mate. I look forward to seeing you in the next one, hopefully. If not, enjoy your weekend, enjoy the rest of your day, all of that. Thank you for tuning in, though. Really appreciate it. Never judge a player by a single season is one of the best bits of advice you'll ever get in football. The other bit of advice I would give you, 1, excuse the voice crack. 2, is never judge a player after like an international tournament. But yeah, you can't judge a player's true quality off of one season, especially in a new league. I think Antony can come good. In terms of his profile, I don't think Ten Hag wants someone which constantly goes at his man. I think to an extent he wants this player which goes forward, then comes back out a bit. Because what Ten Hag loves is underlapping runs. And Antony is good at finding them. We saw it at times last season. Wan-Bissaka would then make this run in here, and it worked well. The problem was, having got here, there was no striker. I think this season we could see situations where Antony's on the wide right, Fernandes gets the ball out to him, Antony kind of probably ball rolls it a couple of times, gets into this position, then cuts back, then we see an underlap from Wan-Bissaka or Diallo into this position, they get the ball, the cutback comes across, Rasmus Højlund is there. I would keep an eye on that kind of pattern happening. Never judge a player after preseason as well. Yeah, I think, of course, in an international tournament, in preseason, over a season, you get an idea of a footballer. Of course you do, absolutely. But you can't fully gauge them, especially preseason, not at all. My thoughts on Alexander Barr, right back from Benfica. Really good. Really like him. Really well-rounded. He does strike me as that Ten Hag sort of profile. He is someone that I will look into at some point. Just not just yet. But I will do a video on that at some point. It'll be there eventually. Would I take Kvaratskhelia at the cost of Rashford leaving? See, again, that's another situation where I think he's so good. But it is one season. So right now, if you ask me, would I take him over Rashford? Probably not. Ask me again next summer, though. All right, bookmark this or something. Remember that you asked this question. Ask me again, 4th of August 2024, and I'll probably be able to give you a more concrete answer. Ten Hag wants to play transitional football. Antony was a bad signing if this is the case. Lol. How many fast breaks has he ruined? Yeah, it's true. I understand what you're saying in that extent. But again, what you've got to consider is the environment wasn't right last season. There wasn't a proper striker, certainly someone who could run the channels. This year on the break, for example, we could see the opposition have pushed forward like this. They're putting pressure on United, right? Something like this. And let's go like that. Manchester United win the ball in the right back area. Okay, Diallo puts the tackle in on this player. The ball goes to Casemiro. The ball goes to Bruno Fernandes. Now, Antony is not a player who's going to pick up the ball here, go, put the ball in the back of the net. Right? It's not going to happen. What he likes to do is kind of slow it down and come inside like this. And last season, the problem was there's then no runner from here, and you're relying on Rashford. But if you suddenly add 2 runners like that, Antony can be a transitioning threat, particularly with Fernandes and Mount, who then like to get into these areas. Do I think he's perfect for it? No, he's not perfect for transitioning football. I don't think it entirely suits his game. But I do think there are spells where he can do it. So, it's a toss-up between the two. Antony can't cross with his right. That's the criticism I would make more, his lack of use of right foot. Although again, Arjen Robben, left-footed, incredible. If Antony can get that good on his left, it almost doesn't matter. But yeah, I'd like to see him improve on his weaker foot, for sure. Without doubt, I think it just improves the footballer. I see your point, AJ. Our players are a little allergic of that central space in front of goal. Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah, they really are. Rasmus, to be fair, is another player which likes to move into this position. So he won't always be there, but I think he'll be there more. Perfect comment there. He was always crossing to Haller with his left, to be fair. Haller's a big striker. What's Rasmus Højlund? A big striker. Wait for Ten Hag to have the players he wants. Because I'll be honest, right? We can all give our opinions. I give my opinion. We got to trust Erik Ten Hag to an extent. We can question things. We can call things out and stuff like that. But to an extent, these guys are way more qualified than I am. Ten Hag's more qualified than me. Every manager in the Premier League is more qualified than me. So to an extent, you do have to trust them. Anthony can't even cross with his left, never mind his right. It is inconsistent, I'll give you that. He strikes the ball weirdly at times as well. Sorry, I'm just getting spammed on my phone. Let me just deal with this for 1 second. Bar has only 50 million market value, but contract till 2027. That's why he will be expensive, like 40 to 50 mil. Yeah, I'd have to look into it. I really like him as a player, though. Fundamentally, there's a good player there. Sorry, I am a little bit distracted here. Oh, it's someone messaging me about the most irrelevant thing. Aiden, mate, I don't know if you're watching this, but I don't care. Okay? Or David, if you're watching this, I hope you tell Aiden I said that. Because I don't care what he's talking about right now. Sorry, a bit distracted. Personally, you've been working on my weak foot, and even at my level, and it's crazy how much it improves overall game. Completely opens up the angles you can pass receive. Absolutely. I think that's a good comment to see, actually. We don't see many people on this channel talking about their personal experiences in football. Having 2 feet, stupid as it sounds, is huge in football. It really is. I was taught that at a very young age. I'm not very good at football, right? But I would say my left foot is very close to being as good as my right foot. It's a very low standard, but I am 2-footed, and I think that is really important in football. How much would I pay for prime Thierry Henry? What are we putting him? How would you compare him to Mbappe, for example? Because it's going to be a similar price, right? Got to be similar sort of profile. How do I pronounce that name? AJ, do you know who Ernest, is it Nuama, is? If not, look into him. Has potential to be the next big thing in terms of right wing prospect. I tell you what, my friend, I'll write his name down right now. Actually, I think I've heard of his name. And I'll look into that. Yeah, I think I do know something about him, but not enough to really comment. That's actually a really good point there as well, by the way. There is so much attention on Anthony's right foot when majority of right footers can't do any better with their left foot. What a great point. Granted, I think Anthony is more one-footed than most still, but yeah. I've never seen a comment about Rashford doesn't use his left foot ever. Interesting point. Mount or Bruno for free kicks? I'll let those two argue that one out. I think I would prefer Mount on corners. I think he's a better corner delivery taker. I wouldn't be surprised if this is why I can't be a commentator. I've completely lost what I was saying again. What was I saying? Yeah, I think Mount will take corners. I think Bruno will take free kicks. I'm struggling. How long have we been streaming? 1 hour and 48 minutes. Okay, we're on track for our longest stream. And we've got another donation. So we're on track for a record donation count as well. Natty5HD with another £1.99. Thank you very much. Anthony's FB ref report looks horrendous. Yeah, let me find it and have a look into it. I'm actually going to do a video on Anthony soon, by the way. So I'm glad you guys are kind of talking about him. Because I have got a video pending for, when is it? The 10th, whenever that is. Next Thursday, I think it is. So I'm glad you guys are talking about it. But again, thank you so much for the donation. If everyone could say thank you to Natty, really appreciate it. Is it Natty or is it Natty? I don't want to mispronounce it, or however it is. I'm sorry. You guys must know by now on the channel, I'm so bad at pronouncing things. I'm horrendous at it. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Hang on. Here's Anthony's FBref report. We'll go through that in a sec. I think it's more of a cross-dominant issue. Right hand, left foot, dominant player. Yeah. I was that type of player. Normally, this kind of player was very one-footed. The first word I said it was correct. Okay, thank you. I'm glad I haven't insulted you then. Thank you so much for the donation again. I really do appreciate it. Question, guys. Like I said, every single Super Chat donation is going to go to a new mic and a new camera. What would you guys rather see upgraded first? By the way, guys, every single player which you guys talk about, I want you to know that if I don't know about them, I take a little note of it and I will genuinely look into it. Oh, we've got some competition. We've got mic, camera. Oh, competition. Maybe I'll do a poll on it at some point. Let's have a little look through Anthony's FBref report. Stuff like this I'm not too bothered about. Average shot distance, goals. I mean, the shots on target percentage. Sorry, the shots on target is good. The percentage, not so much. So this probably suggests he's shooting a bit too much. But as a result, he is eventually getting them on target. Passing. Pass completion rate, 77%. I think that's something which Ten Hag values. But it needs to improve again. This is quite an interesting FBref report to look into. Someone saying the mic and camera is fine. No, why buy a new one? Yeah, I think they're good. I think we've got decent quality, but if we can upgrade the channel, we might as well. I think it's a nice way of repaying you guys for your support. It means that you guys get, you know, that extra little bit of crisper content, nicer on the ears. It's just a way of thanking you guys almost. Anthony doesn't put enough power in his shots. Yeah, he doesn't strike the ball consistently enough. The reason right footers don't get critiqued for their weaker foot is because it doesn't look as awkward as a left footer, and right footers do tend to use it more. Yeah, I think right footed players are more two footed naturally. Because left footers, for example, a left footed centre back is always played on the left. A left footed full back is always played on the left. Whereas sometimes you will see a right footer. So right footers are naturally more gifted with their weaker foot because they are asked to do it on a more regular basis. You know, you see right-footed left centre-backs. You see right-footed left-backs. So yeah, it does make sense. But I think there are some right-footed players out there who are as one-footed as Anthony and maybe don't get critiqued the same. It's an interesting point, though, for sure. It's like a interesting little discussion. I think Anthony's left issue is more of a cross-dominant issue. It depends on the position, right? Depends where you're trying to cross from. Because there's real potential to, especially with Rashford at the far post, who did improve his heading last year. And if you can get here, cut the ball back, right? Kind of chop back onto your left foot. And again, you're going to use this kind of decoy run to take this defender. There is the potential for some sort of curled cross in towards like a Højlund or a Rashford, maybe. There's potential there. I think only 10% of people are left footers. There's simply more to choose from. Yeah, and like, we're on the completely wrong tactical board, aren't we? Sorry about that. Yeah, I think you are right. And like I said, because there's more right footers, they kind of get shoehorned into different positions more, so they develop their left foot. But again, it's a really interesting point, and it's a good conversation to have. Would I take Ziyech on loan to add competition for Anthony? Did Ziyech not go somewhere? Got a feeling he went somewhere, but I might be wrong. By the way, he didn't go anywhere. Then it wouldn't be bad as depth, but there's probably too many other players like Sancho and that, and Amad, Diallo, Palestri can play there. If there weren't that sort of player, it wouldn't actually be that bad. By the way, just to kind of confirm, Anthony does need to use his weak foot more. It's just an interesting point to talk about. Yeah, he does need to use his weak foot more. He needs to develop in that area. Absolutely. So again, who are you talking about? Ernest. How do I say his name? Ernest Nuama will be a United player in 2024. You heard it here first. If not, Ten Hag out. Let me quickly find him. Let me quickly have a see if it is who I think it is. Because I'm sure I've watched him. I'm sure someone kind of mentioned his name before and I went and checked him. Yes, I have heard of him. Okay, yeah, I'll look into him for you, mate. Maybe a little scouting for United video. Potential there. Three goals in 100 minutes in the league. I'll look into him. I will look into him. Absolutely. I will do that for you, mate. Whoa. So I look away for like 30 seconds to read something else, and chat is full. Again, if you want to guarantee that I see what you're saying, a super chat is the best way to do that, but don't feel that you have to. Do I think that 25 million is too much for Jared Branthwaite? I've got to be honest with you, I don't know enough about him. I've seen the links and I've watched him a few times, but not enough. I've got a friend who rates him quite highly, but his ball knowledge is dry. I'll look in, if we see more links, I'll look into him. Because, yeah, I mean, if United get linked to a player, I'm going to look at him. So, yeah, I'll have a look. What do I think of Diamond to United in 2024? Watch this space. I think it is something to keep an eye on. He has weaknesses at the moment, areas he needs to improve, absolutely. I don't know if you've seen the video, but I did cover it a couple of weeks ago. Really good young player. Really good young player. Yeah, let's see how he develops over the next 12 months. If he develops enough, then he could be the one which is needed. But like I said, we'll have to wait and see how he grows. He's moved a lot in the past 18 months, different clubs, joined Sporting in January. Give him one more season. I watch a lot of Portuguese league football, and I'm going to watch even more this year. So yeah, don't worry, I will be right on it. I will be right on it. Anthony can thrive by underlapping. Do you mean Anthony underlapping, or do you mean someone else underlapping him? Do you mean Anthony running here, or Anthony wide, Diallo going under? Beckham's price in today's football. What did Beckham cost when he actually went? Anyone know? Kobe Minu was class. Yeah, really disappointed about his injury. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Maybe like in the Carabao Cup, for example. He could be an option. If he's fit. I think if he hadn't got injured, then I think we would have seen him in the opening week of the season. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I'm sure he'll be fine. I think he'll come back from that injury. He'll be all right. David Beckham, for those that were interested, was 37 million euros. Not sure what that is in pounds, but there's a rough idea. About 25, 26, I think. How do I keep doing this? There we go. How many goals do I reckon Højlund gets this season? Good question. We were talking about it earlier. All competitions, I'd be happy with 15. If he could hit double figures in the league, I'd be happy with that. It depends how much he plays though, right? Because if he plays 20 games, 10 goals would be a great return. If he plays 60 games, 10 goals is a little bit meh. So it depends on how much he plays. I think we should go for Antonio Silva if Maguire leaves. The problem with Antonio Silva, he's so good at football, right? But he's going to cost so much. And United have already spent a lot. Anthony as a false 9 is an interesting prospect. It's something I would have to look into. I haven't really done the research into like his biomechanics in terms of how he receives the ball in certain spaces back to play. So I couldn't tell you right now. But it's something I'd happily look into if kind of, especially if Ten Hag was to experiment with it. I think it's unlikely. Yeah, just to finish on that Anthony point, I don't want to discuss it too much further because, like I said, I actually want to do a video on it. I think if his left foot was better, of course he's left-footed. If his left foot gets even better, then people won't worry about his right foot as much. If his left foot becomes as good as Mohamed Salah, people won't mind so much that his right foot may not be as strong. So he needs to do one of the two, improve that left foot or improve the right foot. Ideally, he does both. We'll have to wait and see. But let's leave the Anthony and the one-foot discussion for there. For now. It's a good little chat, though. I enjoyed that one. Anything else anyone wants to talk about? We've been going for 2 hours. This is now a record stream. Always breaking records here on the channel. We literally, 2 hours and 30 seconds we have been live for. And you guys have been brilliant. I've had a great time so far. Hope you guys have enjoyed it too. If you want to keep going, I'm happy to keep going. Someone's saying Diamond has the room to grow more than Todibo, I believe. Yeah, I think Todibo is probably the better footballer right now, but Diamond has the potential to be special. Special, whereas I don't think Todibo does. Thoughts on Garnacho? We've actually gone a whole stream without properly talking about Garnacho, by the way, which might be a record. Is he fit for the weekend? Because I know he had an injury problem earlier in preseason. My thoughts on Garnacho is that he is absolutely incredible as an impact sub this season and sometimes starting. He could be unreal. Would I keep or sell Sancho? I'd keep him for one more year and then kind of gauge it from there. It's kind of my opinion. Someone talking about Camavinga is the most unreal talent who isn't talked about enough. Yeah, Camavinga is top quality. So good. I wish he had signed for United a few years ago when we supposedly wanted him. So good. What do you think about Martial this season? I did speak about it earlier in the stream. This stream, will be fully uploaded to the channel once it is finished. If he can stay fit, it's like I say, it's such a big if. If he can stay fit, he has a role to play because he is a good false nine. He offers something different to Højlund. He's a good finisher. He's good in a lot of areas. How far will Mainu go? Do you think he could get into the first team, or do you think he will be another Elanga? Mainu is the player I am most sure of making it at Manchester United. I think he's so good. So yeah, I think Kobe Mainu will make it. Natty5HD with another donation. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. Hot take. Facundo Palestri and Amad Diallo are better than Garnacho. Natty's opinion, not mine. Let me know what you think. Natty, you might have signed yourself up there. People might not be happy with that. Oh, no, I'm seeing Ross is agreeing with you. Again, thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate it. Palestri and Amad over Garnacho. I know people have said, actually, people that watch much more academy football than what I do, people have said that Garnacho was not kind of deemed or considered the hottest talent down there. So you might be onto something. You really might. What confuses me is if Højlund doesn't play every game, does that mean we play a different system every time Sancho plays up front? Yeah, good point. This is where United have a slight concern, right? And this is why, in my opinion, they need another striker. Because if you take Højlund out of the team, who is the direct replacement, who offers the closest thing to Højlund, it would be Marcus Rashford. But then that means Rashford never gets a rest. Which is why I think another striker is needed. Or Sancho, but like you said, then you're getting a different profile, which means does it mean you're changing tactically? Yeah, it is a problem. And wait, did I say Garnacho wrong? Not sure. Anyway, and yeah, like I said, Martial is the other option for a striker. Again, he's not the same as Højlund, but this is just where United are at. If they can't afford another striker, it's a problem which Ten Hag just has to work with, basically. Natty saying they love the channel. Thank you so much. Oh, in chat it was... Okay, my bad. Yeah, Natty, thank you so much for the donations. I'm glad you enjoy the content. I'm glad you enjoy the channel. Really appreciate it. Thoughts on Donny going to Sociedad? I just hope. I don't know too much about Sociedad. I just hope it's a good move for him. Because Donny van de Beek deserves to play regular football in a good system. He deserves, a chance to be happy playing football, right? Hopefully he gets it there, if that is where he goes. The drop in quality from our starters to sub scares me. Yeah. I see where you're coming from. I think it's improved, though. I think, for example, last season it went from Eriksen to Fred. This year it will go from Mason Mount to Eriksen. So it's upgraded there. Yeah, there are concerns in areas, though. I think, for example, if Amrabat signs, that's a great signing. Last season it went from Casemiro to Sabitzer or McTominay. This year it'd go from Casemiro to Amrabat. So again, a good signing and good depth. But yeah, there's still work to be done to compete with the best teams. Do I prefer keeping McTominay or Fred? In my opinion, Fred is way better. Not sure. What you've got to consider is so many different factors. One being the age of the players, the value of the players, but also homegrown is a big thing. It's a big thing. I don't know who I'd rather keep. I think Fred is the better footballer. McTominay's got the greater potential, is probably worth more money. Who's more suited to United? Probably Fred as a Mason Mount potential backup, but it seems like Eriksen will play that role. Not too sure, not too sure. We have another donation, $199. Thank you very much. I love this channel. Keep going. Thank you very much for the kind words. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. Thank you so much for the donation. Really, really do appreciate it. Every single donation means the world. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoy the rest of the stream. Let me know what you think of this United squad. No, Ross, I'll have to be honest. I don't have enough knowledge on him to really talk about him. But if you think Facundo Pellistri could become him, I might have to look into it. Taremi for less than 20 million could be the perfect option to rotate with Højlund. He's experienced and offers something slightly different. Yeah, he offers something different, but also still has the potential to be your box striker. He does have the speed to go in behind. He can be a hold-up player. I think Taremi would be a really good bit of business. Can he be afforded? I'm not sure, but yeah, I think that would be a good move. What positions would you prioritise in the next summer window? Personally, think of starting right back, right winger, and right centre back at least. Obviously, it's really early to say. We have to see how Antony plays this season, Diallo, Wan-Bissaka, Rafael Varane, Sancho, Ahmad, whoever it might be. So it's early to say. My idea currently would be something similar, but the problem is, if you upgrade a whole half of the pitch at the same time, you're going to have a weak side for a little while because of how long it takes for players to gel, etc. So it is risky upgrading, like for example, your right centre-back and your right-back. That means that when United are in defensive situations for the start of that particular season, this area here is players which are completely new to it. So, yes, it's a difficult one to say, really. We'll have to see as the season goes on, but hopefully I will get back to it. Thoughts on the Community Shield game, using it as FPL team selection tool? Haha. Yeah, me too. I'm really looking forward to it. The Community Shield, I love football in general. The fact that football is back is great. Keep an eye on Eddie and Nketiah. Maybe starting up front with Jesus out injured. That's where I've got my eyes at the moment. Don't tell anyone though, because I am in a mini league, so keep that quiet. But yeah, I am looking forward to that. My first choice for new owner, Qatar or Ratcliffe? Probably got to be Qatar just for the money, but the whole takeover thing is a mess. Absolute mess. Thoughts on De Ligt potentially playing centre-back alongside Lisandro Martinez in the future? Could work. De Ligt hasn't quite kind of gone on and improved in the way that I think we all thought he would. So, it'd be interesting to see. Just imagine Diamond Mazraoui. Oh, that is a start as a right-hand side. Wow. You know what I like the most is that for the first time in 10 years, it genuinely feels like you can sit here, and even if you don't think this current squad is perfect, or you think this player is flawed or this player is flawed, it feels like United have a direction. They know what the direction is, and it genuinely feels somewhat hopeful that the club's moving in a good way. That's exciting. Reckon Glazers will stay. That's my fear at the moment. Not about United, but should City sign Elise or Doku? First of all, you don't have to talk about United. Talk about whoever you want. I think Elise would probably be the better signing of the two. Doku potentially offers something a little bit different. I think Elise is closer to Mahrez, so it depends if Pep wants a Mahrez replacement or if he wants something a little bit different. But Elise certainly could be a shout. I also really like this shout in chat here about Pavard as potential for a right back, and also, potentially right centre back backup. Yeah, really like the shout. Really, really like it. If United had been linked, I would have done a video on it because I like the sound of it. I'm losing my voice. We have been going for over 2 hours, by the way. This is the longest stream we've ever done. Ever done. If anyone's interested, Mickey van de Ven to Tottenham. He's now, here we go. Leipzig getting Gertruda is smart business from them. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot. It is a good sign, and Leipzig tend to sign well in general, don't they? Do I think Sancho playing as a false 9 can revive Donny van de Beek coming late to the box? If Donny van de Beek could get the chances, absolutely. He could also benefit from someone like Højlund who kind of makes this space here. But I just don't think Donny van de Beek's going to be here. Natty 5 HD with another donation. Everyone, I'll read the comment in a second. I would like everyone to put either an applaud emoji or a green love heart in chat to say thank you for Natty. Because Natty is just keeps coming with the donations. So I'm not saying anything until I see some green hearts or clap emojis. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Natty. Natty with the £1.99 donation saying, no press resistance in our midfield, Amrabat over Mount. First of all, thank you to everyone who says thank you to Natty. Because like I said, Natty is a big helper of the channel. Look at the love in chat. I love our corner of the internet. Yeah, I completely get your point. But what I will add is that I think Onana and Lisandro Martinez, for example, do go some way to addressing it. So I think there will be games where Amrabat plays due to his press resistance over Mason Mount. I think that will happen. But also, I think we might genuinely get to a point where United are so good at playing up from the back with Onana and Martinez, but also have the ability to go long. Teams just might not press. So you almost don't need it then. So we'll see. Milo Man with the donation, $2.99, just saying the word legend. No, you are the legend here. Not me, my friend. You are the legend. Thank you very much for the donation. Greatly, greatly appreciated. I just read someone say maybe we need to sign Alex Hunter. Do I need to ban you? I'm kidding. Don't worry. I'm not banning you. You're a legend. But AJ, this is still not Ten Hag's team. What players would you like to see in this team to win the Premier League? I think it needs improvements. I'm not banning him for saying Alex Hunter. I think it needs improvements in depth as well as first team quality. Players that I'm unsure of, genuinely, it's a bit early to say actually. It is a tad early to say. We'll see in 12 months' time. But Anthony is someone we need to keep an eye on. Rashford is someone you need to keep an eye on, but again, give them the benefit of the doubt for one season, please. Just trust me on that. But it is this right side of the defence that I'm most worried about. That's my area of concern right now. Again, by the way, thank you so much to everyone who was tuned into the stream, which is obviously all of you. Anyone who's left a comment, you guys are great. You keep the stream flowing. Anyone which has donated, you don't understand how much that can help the channel. So thank you so, so much. Anyone who hasn't liked the stream already, if you could leave a like right now, it helps the channel so much. Like, likes, subscriptions is huge. So thank you all so much because the support has been incredible. Incredible. Yeah, E, that's my opinion on Rashford, don't worry. I just know it's something which people are watching. So it's something to keep an eye on. My opinion is that Rashford is world class. Jesus, voice crack. Yeah, I think Rashford is world class, don't worry. That's my opinion. Don't worry, E. I'm on the same page, E. Yeah, we're all good. We're all good. I would really like Man United to get João Neves from Benfica for future. He will be a good DM. Did you watch my video on João Neves, or is that just someone you know about anyway? Because I really like the look of him. Came into the Benfica side late last season. Played really well. Really, really well. Looking forward to seeing what he can do this season. I just hope that other signings, for example, like Kokchu, someone like that, doesn't take his place. E saying, I was going to say, because you have great ball knowledge 99.9% of the time. Yeah, don't worry, I'm a big Rashford fan. If I can get a Rashford shirt, all right, we've got a 7, we've got an 8, we've got a 10. I want a Rooney 9 and like maybe a Rashford 11. So don't worry, I'm a big Rashford fan. Rashford at England, for example, used number 11. So sad we missed out on Kokchu. Yeah, really good player. I'm really looking forward to seeing him next season. So yeah. Thank you for your efforts. The live stream was really fun and interactive. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like I said, it's people like you which make the stream interactive and help the stream flow. So thank you so much for getting involved. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you are now leaving, hopefully I'll catch you in the next one. But thank you so much, as always. Any Champions League teams I'm looking out for this year? Let me have a think. Benfica will certainly be there again for me. Like I said, in terms of the leagues I watch the most, the last 12 to 18 months, it's been Premier League and then the Portuguese League. I really, really do love the Portuguese League. So Benfica will be another one that I'll definitely be watching. Without doubt, I will be keeping an eye on them. Leipzig are an interesting one. I think they always are. Someone like Sesko, if they were to get Gertruda, players like that. Trying to think who else, kind of outside of the obvious ones. Out of interest, who are you looking out for? Yeah, exactly. Xavi Simons as well. Yep. How far could United go in the Champions League? I think United have got a genuine chance in the Champions League. I think kind of that one-off football where at times you're maybe relying on like individual brilliance at times. Big moments, Real Madrid the past few seasons, those big moments. Maybe that suits Manchester United with players like Bruno Fernandes. So I think United could do well. I think United genuinely could do well in the Champions League this year. I really do. This stream, by the way, has had over 2,000 different viewers. What? I need to process that for a second. There's over 100 of you right here, right now. Your support is quality. More likes than current viewers. That's got to be rare. Let's see if we can... If you are watching right now and you haven't pressed like, please press like and also subscribe. Let's see how high we can get this number to. You guys are legends. Absolute legends. Thank you so much. Which team has had the best transfer window so far, in my opinion? Please, people, click a like. Absolutely, I agree. Click like. It's so easy to do. Press subscribe while you're there as well. United are up there for the best transfer windows, in my opinion, genuinely. I think, say if we focus on the Premier League, Arsenal's has been good, but I think maybe United's has been a bit better. I think Liverpool's has been decent, but I think there's areas they haven't addressed. Like, good signings in Szoboszlai, McAllister, but they still haven't addressed a 6 or that left-sided defender. City haven't really done much. Gvardiol will be huge. Chelsea not done enough, although if Caicedo was to join, that would change it. Spurs, I like their business. I like what Spurs are doing. I like maybe more than the business, though, the tactical side of what they're doing. Sorry if we just lagged out for a second there. Yeah, so like there, right? Liverpool linked with Andre. So good, right? Andre is a great player. Really great player. But is he what they need right now? He's not a proper ball-winning 6. Welcome to the stream. You say just tuned in. What's the topic right now? Whatever you want. Drop a question. Let's discuss it. We're discussing transfer window at the moment, actually. Who's had the best so far? But yeah, I'm not actually sure Andre is what Liverpool needs. As good as he is. Aston Villa, yeah. Okay. I've seen people spamming Aston Villa. Yes, Aston Villa. Very good window. Have you watched him in preseason yet? Has anyone watched Aston Villa in preseason? Because they look nice. They look scary. Controversial opinion. You might disagree. Maybe Villa over Newcastle this season. Maybe. Chelsea's sales have been quality. Good point. Yeah, I think United are up there with the best transfer window. Ross saying this stream and chat was refreshing. Most streams, chats are just bashing players and rival players. In the end, we should all want the beautiful game to be that beautiful. What a way of putting it. Thank you, Ross, for tuning in. You have been a big part of that. You have made the chat, the stream, great to be in. You've made it beautiful. So thank you very much for tuning in. If you are now heading off, again, thank you. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. I hope you are subscribed. You better be. But yeah, your input has been brilliant and really helped the flow of the stream. So thank you very much. I hope you have enjoyed it. Yeah, those of you that have watched Villa will know that they're onto something there. Andre makes more sense to United than he does to Liverpool. Yeah, I agree. I think Amrabat's the better option, but he does make more sense. We have a brilliant community on here. Great channel, great guy. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We do. Our little corner of the internet that we have here is so good. Like, you get the odd comment, of course you do. It's humans. Humans are like that. But our channel and this area of the internet is brilliant, and it's all because of you guys. So thank you, as always, so much. We need a Liverpool thrashing this season. I couldn't sleep that night. I don't know what night you're talking about. It never happened. Delete it. It's deleted from my memory. Never happened. But yes, please. Yes, please. Could we? Yeah, what do people make of West Ham, by the way? Like, their signings so far. Let's go through them. That's all of them. It was just 3 points, to be fair. You're not wrong, that Liverpool game. Again, I'm pretending it didn't happen. But yeah, at the end of the day, you're not wrong. Psychologically, it's more, though. How many pure sixes do you feel there actually are? I feel like for half of the DMs out there, people say they're better as an 8. I think... Who we got? Rodri is the best 6 for me. Casemiro's obviously right up there. Tchouaméni would be right up there. And in terms of long-term Casemiro... Even he would be the dream as a Casemiro backup or replacement, but it's not going to happen. Declan Rice is up there as a 6. I think he's better in the 6, but is capable as an 8, Declan Rice. Most underrated channel in this field. Should have 100k subscribers at least, but hopefully soon come. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're going to get there. We are going to get there. Like I said, if you haven't subscribed, if you could, that would be greatly appreciated. We're trying to hit 17,000 by the end of the weekend. We're going to get there, though. We're underrated at the moment, but don't worry. We're going to be up there. We're going to be up there. Other 6s. You put me on the spot here. I think Caicedo has the potential to be a special 6, although he's another player which can play as an 8. Can you guys give me some 6s? Like I said, I've been speaking for 2 hours and 20 minutes non-stop, and my brain is fried. So I'm struggling to think of players off the top of my head. Give me 1 second just to jog my memory of some players. You guys name some 6s. See, Kimmich, for example, as you've said there, is one I would argue is more of an 8. He's so good as a 6, but I think his better role might be an 8. Caicedo's a good 6, yeah, agreed. I think Rodri's the big one. Caicedo, obviously Busquets, but now going to Inter Miami. I like Brozovic, but he's past his best now. Trying to think of other names. I like Boubacar Kamara. I think he's really good. Aston Villa, really good player. Ruben Neves, he's a 6 in a sense, but maybe not the same mould. But yeah, he's still a variation of a 6, isn't he? So yeah, he deserves... He is good. Amrabat... I'm so stupid. Yeah, Amrabat is up there. Paulinho at Fulham is another one I like. I think if he was a bit better on the ball, I think he'd be really highly rated. But I still like him. Kante before Chelsea. Yeah, Leicester. Kante was certainly a defensive-minded midfielder. Ugarte. What a shout. Ugarte is one of my favourite midfielders in the world. If I do release that PSG video, I do mention Ugarte because he's so good. John Stones. Yeah. He's arguably an attacking midfielder at this point, though. Ugarte, man. Can't believe he went to PSG. Yeah, Ugarte is... Again, like I said, I watch a lot of Portuguese league football, so big follower of Ugarte. He's phenomenal. I'm excited to see what he might do at PSG. In the Champions League, yeah. Is selling both Fred and McTominay a good option, or should we keep at least one for depth? You probably have to keep one for depth, especially if you sell Donny van der Beek. You probably have to keep one of them. Edson Alvarez is another good shout. Sangare. Do I see Bruno getting dropped if he keeps underperforming? I don't think he's... I think any player could be dropped if they underperform. I don't think he's going to underperform. Put it like that. Zubimendi's a good shout. Who's the... Is it Redondo? The young one. He's good as well. What went wrong tactically in that defeat by Liverpool? I can't actually remember. I have to be honest with you. I think a lot of it was... not just tactically, a lot of it was up here. Yeah, Pirlo would be considered a 6, I think, certainly towards the end of his career. Again, he's a slightly different mould of one, but he was certainly up there. Kobe Mainu, yeah, although he's one who might be better in the 8. Yeah, I can't remember too much tactically about that Liverpool game, because like I said, I've tried to forget that it happened. But like I said, a lot of it was more of a psychological thing. Redondo and Alan Varela. Yeah, really good. Natty 5HD. With another super chat. You are a legend, my friend. An absolute legend. Thank you so, so much. Would you ever do an FM series? You would be great. I'll be honest, I love FM. I'm not very good at it. I'm not very good at it at all. I've got one, which I play with some friends at the moment. It's a Serie A one. I'm Atalanta. It's not going well. But I might have to sell Rasmus for some big money to help me. Could I do a series on it? It's probably not on this channel, right? Because it's not like analysis based. But maybe it, like as we grow and the audience and the community grows, it's maybe something we could do. Can you imagine like a Football Manager career mode where we're in the Premier League? I'm Aston Villa. One of you guys is Newcastle. Like that would be so cool. I don't know if it's possible to do one day. It'd be so difficult to sync up, but that would be incredible. Or maybe, again, that's something which could go on like a Patreon or something like that. You have to consider, though, I'm not very good at Football Manager. You do have to consider that. Busquets, yeah, he's one of the best 6s ever. FM can be infuriating. Yeah, I'm not very good at it. I've always been a bit more of a FIFA Pro Clubs person, but yeah. I do like Football Manager as well. Yeah, League would be really difficult. How does a draft work? I've never done one on Football Manager. If we could branch out in that way, guys, we might just take over the internet, honestly. Could we link that in with some sort of FPL prize? The top 10 in FPL get put in an FM league to battle it out. Whoever wins the league gets a football shirt. That'd be cool. But sorry, I got a bit sidetracked there. Thank you, Natty, for the donation. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Again, legend. Have we just about run out of things to talk about? No, we haven't. Because we've got a question here. Do you consider Højlund's use of channels world-class already? Think if he's not, it's very close in that aspect. It's right up there. He's really good at it. He's so good at moving into those channels. I think it'll be interesting to see how he's going to do it with Rashford. But I quite like that I think at times they'll make room for each other really nicely. There'll be situations where Højlund will move this way, which opens up space for Rashford. But he can also move the other way, which makes room for Rashford. Højlund doesn't actually very often sprint straight. So if it's in the middle, he tends to be a bit deeper, which again makes room for Rashford. So I think that could be such a nice little dynamic. I think that could work really nicely. Yeah, I think everyone's excited by the Rasmus signing, right? Is there anyone that isn't? It's expensive, right? I broke down the fees on it the other day. Maybe I could have presented it a bit better. Someone said in the comments. It was a good point. But yeah, I'm so excited about Rasmus. So excited. What do I think about Vanderson from Monaco? Great shout. Really good player. Really good fullback. I think he's capable of playing either side. Really good technically. Yeah, I really like him. I don't think he'll be at Monaco that much longer. Probably one more season. Yeah, good player. Good shout. How many goals for Højlund in his first season would you predict? Should we put it to a poll? All right. Let's put it to a poll. I can't remember how to do a poll. I need to stream way more. Okay, here we go. How many goals will Rasmus score this season? No, Pogba was a bit more attacking than what a 6 would be. Let's go 0 to 5. I can't type, guys. I'm so bad at this. 5 to 10. Wait, 6 to 10, right? I'm not a natural if you hadn't noticed. 11 to 15, 16 to 20, all right? And then we'll go 20 plus. If you think it's getting more than that, fair enough. How many goals is Rasmus Højlund getting this season? Bosh, the poll is there if you want to vote. Yeah, it's exciting because we got a very young number 9 after a long time. The last one we got was Lukaku. Obviously, that one didn't work too well, but doesn't mean all of them will work out badly. And one before that was Martial, but there's always been, is he a number 9, kind of that debate. So I'm really excited. Imagine Pogba in that Havertz role in the current Arsenal side. Wowzers. That would cook. If he was willing to do the pressing defensively, that would cook. Some people are saying even over 20 goals for Rasmus. Did I go too low with this? 10 to 15 in league if he starts... Yeah, let's say he plays 30 times in the Premier League this season with 20 starts. As a rough gauge, just go off that. Yeah, that's actually a good point. It's the fact that he's been doing it in Serie A as well. A lot of teams in Serie A, traditionally, Italian football is quite a structured league. It's the best way to put it. But a lot of teams play with a back 3 or a back 5, which obviously reduces a lot of spaces. But yeah, if Højlund gets 15 goals in just the Premier League in general this season, like I said, 20 of those he's starting and something like whatever it is, I think he could be so good. Martial had a Ballon d'Or clause in his contract. Very true. Benny will unlock his finishing by December. I hope so. Yeah, and also, that's a good point. Atalanta underperformed. Their other strikers didn't do very well at all. Give me a second. I'll try to find their numbers from last year. Atalanta are a good side on paper, right? They've got a really good manager, but the last couple of years, they've underperformed. Believe it or not, Serie A is the league I watched next the most. It's my third most watched league. So, yeah, Atalanta really struggled. They just didn't hit the numbers that you would expect from them. And in particular, they didn't score the goals that you would want from them. If we go to their top scorers real quick, right? Let me get it on screen for you here. We'll go back to SofaScore if you want to check it out. Lookman on 13 was the standout. Koop Miner's a bit of an anomaly because he had a hat-trick in literally the very last game of the season. Still impressive though. But if we're looking at other strikers, Højlund's on 9, Muriel's on 3, and I believe Zapata had 1. I might be wrong. Let's have a look. Oh, he had 2 in the end. So this wasn't a team which was scoring goals for fun. You know, he wasn't playing a beautiful, free-flowing attacking team, and he still got 9 goals in what was the equivalent of about 2090s. Yeah, Koop Miners is a bit of a odd one in terms of the amount of goals he scored, because, like I said, 3 of them were last day of the season. He scores from near the halfway line. I think it's meant to be a cross. He played so much more football than Højlund though, and set pieces and things like that come into it. Yeah, like people are saying, Serie A is such a difficult league to score in. That's another good point of view. I'm struggling, guys. That's another good point as well. Premier League teams like to squeeze nice and high on the press. That leaves a lot of room in behind for someone like Rasmus to run into. So we've got to consider that as well. There's so much which goes into this. But Højlund has number 9 instincts, as Ross said there. And that's what United need. How many goals and assists do I think Anthony will get this season? I won't talk about it today because I want to do an Anthony video soon, so I don't want to spoil everything. You thought Koop Miners was a DM. He can play as sort of like a deep line playmaker, but there were times last season when he was actually playing much higher. We'll go back to it real quick, one sec. What am I doing, guys? Who are we looking for? Koop Miners. If we look at his heat map from last season, he played a lot higher than what you'd expect. Look, he was playing really, in terms of, in the past, he's been a deep line playmaker, last season. There were times when he was almost playing in a front three at times, in like a 3-4-3 a bit. Yeah, so he did play quite high last season. But most teams sit back against United. That is a good point. But at the same time, if you think early last season, Brighton pressed high on United and hurt them. Sevilla pressed high on United and hurt them. Brentford pressed high on United and hurt them. So I think I said this in a comment the other day. I think what we'll see early on in the season, right, is United will try and play the ball up from the back and will have a very decent amount of success with it and look so much better than last season and will therefore play quite good football. As the season goes on, people will be like, this Onana bloke is pretty decent in goal, so we need to sit off a little bit. So that will be the next challenge for United and Ten Hag to solve. The problem last season was they couldn't play out from the back. Ten Hag looks like he is solving that problem. The next problem will be teams are now sitting deep. Can we break them down? I genuinely believe Ten Hag is the man to help with that because his coaching and development of structured possession systems when you're trying to break down a low block is brilliant. It really is. People say at times that the attack looks unstructured. It's not. It's so structured. People think it's unstructured because there's players constantly drifting about everywhere. But what you will notice is that the zones are always occupied. That's a really elite system. So it's like, it's going to be a long season. It's going to be a difficult season. But I do think we will see progression this year. And that will be the next challenge eventually. Can you now kind of keep teams camped in their box? Can you break them down? But I do think Ten Hag is the man to coach that. I really do. Got my joy back. We had Igalo, Weghorst and them types. Only way is up. Put some respect on Igalo's name. He scored a beautiful goal. I don't think we had too much trouble breaking down low blocks last season. Yeah, there were a lot. Yeah, you're not wrong. I agree with you. I do think United are decent against low blocks. Especially if you add a number 9 in. Someone like Mason Mount, whose movement off the ball and late arrivals will be key. Yeah, I genuinely think there's something there. Yeah, I think United are decent in that. I think Ten Hag's, like I've said, I think his structure is good. So, yeah, people talking about Greenwood, like I said, I'll discuss it more when the club make a final decision. Clearly, though, he was a good player. So, he could come in on this right-hand side or up front. Depth-wise, that really offers something to this team if it happens. Absolutely. Let's end this Højlund poll. So we had 54% said 11 to 15 goals. Someone's saying we also played Maguire as a striker. We did. What game was it? He came on late on last season. Early last season, but he came on late in a game. Was it in Europe? I think it was in Europe. Where he came on late. I can't remember what game it was, but yeah, that was a mess. We were third on the list of chances created last season behind City and Arsenal respectively. We just couldn't finish. We were poor. Exactly. I think this United team is better at breaking teams down than what people give it credit for. I do think it's good. The final Europa League game in the group stage. I wondered if it was. I knew it was a game like that. United bias wants you to captain Rashford game week 1. Oof, it's risky. Got to go Haaland, right? Like I said, I'll definitely cover FPL in streams if people want it. I'll set up the league tonight and I'll do a community post. So if you want to get involved, you can. If we get a sponsor for it and a prize for it, I will update it. I think though, guys, I'm going to stop the stream here. I can hear people arriving in the house, which means it might be loud. So we are going to wrap it up here. We've been going for 2 hours and 40 minutes. Wow. Your support has been absolutely incredible. Let me go back through and thank the people who have done. Actually, I don't even need to. Just thank you to genuinely everyone. You've all been genuinely incredible. I've had a great time. Like, we haven't even focused on something specific. We've just chatted about football and it's great. Yes, I did see that Amrabat isn't in the squad. Yes. Someone's saying next stream, 6 hours. No. By the way, guys, get in chat right now. You see that guy there who just left a comment. His name's Callum. Ask him if he wants to do watch-alongs this season. It would not be every game, I tell you that now, Callum, don't worry. Ask him. Ask that Callum guy if he would like to do watch-alongs. That's who you need to get onto. He might say no. 2,200 viewers. Manav with the donation, £1.99. Good stream, pal. Thank you so much. You have been... I don't think I've seen you on a stream before. I might be wrong. But thank you so much. You have been brilliant to talk to throughout the stream. You have contributed with loads of different opinions, different questions. So, yeah, thank you very much. If everyone could give Manav a big thank you before we leave, that would be greatly appreciated. Like I said, he's been a big part of this stream, so thank you very much. Been watching the videos for a while, but first stream, well, welcome to the stream. Thank you for your continued support on the channel. We will be doing this on a regular basis. And yeah, we'll be talking about FPL as well, so I'll have you sorted for that. Callum saying he'll work on persuading him. Watch-alongs, boys. Watch-alongs might be a thing this year. Do you want, just before we go, would you want analytical watch-alongs? Because I don't know if I can get monetized watching watch-alongs because my language isn't great. I get angry. Minister Knight, great stream. First time ever commenting on a stream. You chose a good stream to comment on for the first time. Thank you very much. You know what? Let's leave it there. This stream has been very, very good. I've really enjoyed it. You guys have been incredible. 2 hours and 40 minutes of you guys and me talking about football, talking about tactics, keeping it not biased, keeping it just great. So thank you, everyone. Callum saying, don't get me started on refs. I am very calm when watching football, I'll have you know. But anyway, thank you guys very much. I hope you have enjoyed the stream. You guys have been incredible. Thank you to everyone who has watched at some point, everyone that has donated, everyone who has just said a word, liked, subscribed, anything. You've all been absolutely brilliant. Even those of you which have just sat there quietly, I hope you've enjoyed it. We will be doing this on a more regular basis. Go check out all my videos on the channel. They'll be linked. Tell your friends about the channel. Everything, everything, everything. Thank you guys so much. Great comment to finish on there. Don't do watch-alongs. He's not a fan. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.